What is going on, YouTube? What's going on, YouTube? Come on in, come on in. Let me know where you are checking in from. Let me know where you guys are checking in from. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers that are out there. Happy Mother's Day to Pippi, if you are a mother. Who else is in the building? All the women in the building, let yourself be known. Even if you're not a mother, if you are a woman and you are in the building tonight, let yourself be known. Y'all can't hear me? No sound? Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. Somebody put no sound. No sound. No sound. Check, check, check. Check, check, check. Can y'all hear me? Who put no sound? Let me know where y'all checking in from. It says I got sound. Okay, I hear you. All right. I don't know, Devontae. You might not got your speakers on, but everybody can hear me. My meter says my mic check is good. All the mothers, let me know. Let me know you're in the building. Happy Mother's Day to all the ladies in the building. Happy Mother's Day to all the ladies in the building. Round of applause. Let me know where you're checking in from. Happy Mother's Day. I know there's probably not going to be a lot of people tonight because it's a Mother's Day. Everybody's probably out enjoying their mothers, unless you guys did it earlier. And if you did it earlier, shout out to you. And I appreciate y'all joining me on this Mother's Day. Shout out to my mom if she's watching. She doesn't watch me that much nowadays like she used to when I first started on YouTube. I think tonight she watches one of those stories. You know, I'm old school. You know, your parents, we call them stories like General Hospital and what's those other shows, them TV shows that come on during the day. Back in the day, the parents call them, and the grandparents, they call them their stories. I got to watch my story. She's probably watching one of her little BET stories, one of those little Tyler Perry stories, so she ain't watching me. But shout out to Mom Dukes. Without Mom Dukes, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here in the flesh. I wouldn't be in the position that I am, today. Everything she instilled in me, the motivation she gave me, and even, all my failed entrepreneurial endeavors prior to the ones that actually made it. She supported me. Now, she didn't give me no money but she allowed me to live rent free while I invested my money, right? And that allowed me to, take bigger risks because I didn't have to worry about the cost of living. You know what I'm saying? So I think that was even a bigger investment than if she would have invested into a lot of things that ultimately failed, even with, me starting the moving company and the Final Mile company, all that was started from grassroots bootstraps, and she allowed me to live under her roof while I reinvested all that income back into those businesses. So without Mom Dukes, I don't know where the hell I would be. So Mom Dukes, if you watching, I appreciate you. And I got something special planned for you. I didn't get a chance to tell you earlier when I came by there, but I got something planned for you, and it's going to be big. So shout out to you, Mom Dukes, all right? Shout out to all the mothers. Shout out to everyone that's watching. Shout out to your mother. Tell your mothers that Mark the Mentor said, Happy Mother's Day. So shout out to everybody. Shout out to all y'all mothers. Shout out to all the mothers in the building. Shout out. All right. So with that being said, now we got that out the way. Let's get down to business. Let's get down to this roll call, because I got some stuff I want to talk about tonight. And then we're going to do this consultation, free coaching consultation, Q&A. I got a special announcement. It's a good announcement. Maybe good to some, maybe bad to others, but I think it's, I'm gonna balance it out for you. So shout out to everybody that's coming in. Make sure you hit that like button as you come on in. We got Mark Brown in the building. VA is in the building. Detroit, Michigan is in the building. Devontae Small, Pensacola, Florida is in the building. Alabama in the building. Hold on, let me get rid of this banner. What else? Texas in the building. Chicago's in the building. Chicago, with my horn, Chicago. Gotta get an air horn for the hometown. Shout out to Justin, Chicago in the building, Texas in the building, Pippi is in the building. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. Vindy Edwards, loud and clear spoken. Justin Batch. Shout out to North Carolina is in the building. Okay, your mom did well. Pippi, I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Atlanta is in the building. New York's in the building. Miami's in the building. I appreciate everybody. Happy Mother's Day to everybody that's coming in. If you're not a mother, happy Mother's Day to your mother. All right. Tell her Martha Mentor said happy Mother's Day. Appreciate y'all. And come on in. All right. So look, we're going to do a free coaching and consultation tonight. So everybody, I sent it out on Facebook. I sent it out on Instagram. So everybody that's been hitting me in the DM that, for some reason don't want to, book a 30-minute or an hour, no problem. We just do it for free. All right. So get your questions ready, whatever you got, let me know. But in the meantime, in between time, I'm going to make an announcement. Shout out to Kurt. I caught some of his live. I've been on the phone, talking to my mom, talking to some other mothers that I know, spreading the love. So I really didn't get a chance to tune into his live all the way, but I know he did his last box truck live today. So Kirk has retired from the box truck content. He'll just be doing the Wise Man podcast here on Monday nights for box truck content. He's moving on to greener pastures. Sometimes you just got to know when it's time to hang it up. You know what I'm saying? And he feels that now is the time to hang up, this chapter as far as him creating content in the box truck space. And he said, I'm going to do box truck on the Wise Men podcast on his channel. He wants to talk about other things. All right. So shout out to Kurt for, moving on to greener pastures, I should say. I got an announcement too. All right. So I am going to, I'm not going to discontinue, but I'm going to take a break from Sunday nights. And I'm going to tell you why. It's for a selfish reason too. I'm always keep it funky with you. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to give you some fictitious thing. I'm going to tell you it's for a selfish reason. And I'm going to tell you the reason. The reason why is because I want to kick it. I want to kick it. It's summertime is coming up and I want to hang out. And Sunday nights has always been the night that I hang out. I want to either go out to eat, go on dates, hang out, go to some bars, may hit a few clubs, travel. Friday, I get up out of town, come back Monday morning so I could do the Wise Men podcast, Monday night. So summertime is upon us. I'm not gonna confine myself, I'm just not gonna do it. I think I put out enough, and I don't think I need to do 2 days no more. I think Thursday night doing educational box truck content on Thursday night is cool. Then you got me on Monday night for the Wise Men podcast, which is a great show, man. Why? Like, I'm so proud of the Monday night show. Like, I'm proud of it. I'm proud of what we're doing with it. I'm proud of us, pushing the envelope in the space and keeping the space going. I know the sentiment is down. I know a lot of people have moved on. I know a lot of people have, I want to go to day parties too. You're right. I want to go to day parties too. And, sometimes when you go to a day party, you drink and I can make it back for this 8 o'clock show. But then if I have a drink or two, I might not be on my right frame of mind. So, and that's not fair to myself. It's not fair to y'all. So yeah, I want to kick it. I told you it was for selfish reason. I'm going to always keep it funky with you. I'm going to kick it. You dig what I'm saying? I'm going to travel. But I'm going to get into a little bit of that in a minute. I lost my train of thought. What was I talking about? So what I want to do is I'm going to discontinue Sunday because I want to hang out. I want to move around. I want to travel on the weekends. I was in Arizona last week. My homie's birthday. He had moved out there from Chicago about 3 months ago. His birthday was last weekend. So I went out there to kick it with him. And when I went out there to kick it with him and I didn't do the show last Sunday, I'm like, man, I got to move around more. This is what I was talking about. I remember now. I don't think I need to do 2 nights of box truck content, educational. I think one night is enough. When when there was a crisis during peak season, I went from one night to 2 nights and then 3 nights. Remember, I was doing Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. You see what I'm saying? When that died down, I took the Tuesday off, was doing Sunday and Thursday. I think one night a week for education is cool. And then me and Kurt doing the Monday night show, I think that's the second night because that brings a lot of value and we're really pushing the envelope and keeping the conversation going. You know, some people agree with what we say. Some people disagree. Some people agree with me on certain points. Some people agree with Kirk on certain points and disagree with me, or agree with me and disagree with him. There's been plenty of episodes. We had Axel on earlier. A lot of people disagree. You had the FBA in the building. They disagree with Perk. You got some people that disagree with me on supply and demand. But that's the point. You know what I'm saying? We're creating the conversation. You know, we're putting the platform and allowing people to engage, you know, and have these discussion. And by doing that, it's sparking ideas in people's brains. So I think that Monday show and I think Thursday is enough. Sunday, I'm going to kick it. I'm going to travel. I went to Arizona to see my homie last week. It was birthday. When I got out there, I'm like, yo, I can't give up my weekends. You know, I don't think I need to give up my weekends anymore for this. You know, I've dedicated my Sundays for this for maybe about 9 months now. And I think I put out enough content, and I think one night a week for education, then the show on Monday is cool. I was out there, I kicked it. The women out there, man, they got this golden, it's like a golden bronze skin with the curly hair with the lip. They got all of them got the lip, what's those things that make the lips bigger, the fillers. I have to move around. I got to move around this summer, all right? So I'm going to move around. So Sunday nights, I'm taking Sunday night off for selfish reasons because I have to move around. I'm not giving y'all my Sunday nights no more, all right? Got to hit some day parties like Sasha said. I got to move around. So you're going to get me on Monday and Thursdays. Now, with that being said, if there's a Sunday night that I feel like, you know what, I ain't doing nothing, I may do a pop-up, all right? So Sunday nights is still going to be mine. I'm not giving Sunday nights away. Sunday nights, I still own Sunday nights now. But, you know, I'm not committing myself to Sunday nights no more, all right? All right, so now check this out. So with that being said, I have a new idea. I created a whole nother podcast. Something different from the mentor. I mean, not the Wiseman podcast on Monday. It's gonna be different from the educational box truck stuff on Thursday. I've created a new podcast, and I'm gonna be talking about a little bit of everything. A lot of people have hit me in the DMs. They send me articles and they say, Mark, I'm interested in your perspective on this. People hit me on Facebook Messenger. People email me. People in the chat like, Mark, I'm curious to know what you think about this. So what I'm going to do is I created a new podcast. It's still in the it's done. It's still in the works as far as the you know the design of it and all that stuff. And I'm going to be talking about a little bit of everything. I think we're going to probably release that in June. All right. It's going to be a multi-week thing where we're probably dropping 3 episodes a week. Some of the episodes will be pre-recorded. Some of them will be, I'm going to do at least 1 live show a week, and then probably the other 2 will be pre-recorded. And it's going to be on everything. For instance, today, Ja Morant, he acted a goddamn fool again. I want to talk about things like that. I want to talk about what's up with this guy. Why is this guy got 180 with the possibility he had 230 million and he keep acting a goddamn fool? You see what I'm saying? I want to talk about things like that. I want to talk about the economy more in depth. I want to talk about the upcoming presidential election. I want to tie all that stuff, some of that stuff in to why it's important to business. You know what I'm saying? Without having to directly talk about box trucks. And talk about all these things so that way, you know, it can stimulate other people's mind that may not be thinking that deep into things, and then they can go off and formulate their own opinion. I want to talk about the black community. You know what I'm saying? I want to talk about racism. I want to talk about education in the black community. I want to talk about um, uh, crime. I want to talk about immigration. It's a lot of things that I want to talk about. And since I had a platform and a lot of people are hit me up and say, man, Mark, I'm curious to know what you think on this. I'm just going to create some shows. And they're not going to be 2 hours, hours. They're probably like 30-minute segments. And then I'll do the live show where I have it open for discussion where I drop the link. So that'll be coming probably in June. And then I'll just do pop-ups here and there on Sundays. I'm not going to give y'all my Sundays. I'm going to kick it. I'm going to go to day parties. I'm going to talk to the girls with the honey blonde, brown skin with the lip fillers. All right? So that's what I'm going to do. And yeah, that's what we're going to do. Happy Mother's Day to all the women that are coming in. Let me know. Love me some L. Shout out to you. Happy Mother's Day. If you are a mother, if you're not, still happy Mother's Day. Tell your moms I said happy Mother's Day. Everybody tell your moms that Mark said happy Mother's Day. J Rex, ain't no money like that Home Depot account, man. Everybody that I put in tune with that T-Force Home Depot account, I've heard nothing but good feedback. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to everybody that listened to me and went in here and did that. The rates range depending on the market. The highest rate that someone that I directed to that Home Depot account at T-Force has gotten was $52 a stop. They first day, they got 25 stops. So do the math, 52 times 25. The lowest rate that someone that I've directed to get that account has was $43, and on their first through $43 a stop, and their first day they got 20 stops. So this is local work. It's one man curbside delivery, and this your boy Mark the Mentor pointed people in that direction. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to everybody that went on ahead and did that. Yo, Mark, the next stop AZ women, them is crazy. Yo, Mark, my next stop AZ women, them is crazy. I don't know if they crazy, but I know they beautiful. You dig what I'm saying? So Sasha said, talk about Axel, man. I'm gonna talk about Axel. Axel, shout out to Axel. He don't call no more. I guess he's mad. But I made an executive decision for my channel, you know what I'm saying? And it's just certain things that I want to do and certain things I don't want to do. And what he wants to do, he's great at what he wants to do. I just don't want to do that or have nothing to do with that over here. But shout out to him because, I don't, have nothing, I'm not nothing against him or nothing. I wish we could still be cordial, but it is what it is. He wants to do what he wants to do. I just don't want to do it. You dig what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Blessed and Brody said there are some baddies out in AZ for sure. Man, I'm telling you what I know, what I saw last week. You dig what I'm saying? Ain't no money like that Home Depot money. I'm trying to told you. Come on, y'all. Come on in. I'm doing free consultations and coaching tonight. Drop the questions if you got them. What's up, bro? I'm in Oklahoma City. I've been an independent contractor here for about 10 years. I ran for G, Lowe's, and Home Depot. I'll be back with Home Depot this week. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Got to get those lip fillers. Man, I'm telling you, everybody down there got lip fillers. The white women got the lip fillers. The Hispanic women got the lip fillers. I'm telling you, see, you don't see that up here in Chicago. You see it here and there, but it's like everybody down there had them lip fillers. It was like Kim Kardashian. Everywhere I turned around, it was like a Kim Kardashian. That was crazy. I had never been to AZ. My company has moved people to AZ plenty of time over the years, but I'm not on the truck. So, but man, shout out to AZ. You deserve it. Treat yourself. Don't cheat yourself. Yeah, I'm just gonna scale back on Sundays. I'm just not gonna commit. Doesn't mean like you ain't gonna see me on Sundays. Sasha said you want to go to day parties. Definitely do. Hit them like buttons. Hit the like buttons. Hit the like buttons. Let me know where you're checking it in from. Let me know where you're checking it from. All right. What is a good profit margin percentage after you deduct your cost per mile in the freight recession 2023? All right. So rule of thumb, all right, for general freight is 2.5% to 6%, but I think if you enter into the industry right, you could do better than that. I've always operated around the 20% margin. You know what I'm saying? If you can operate around 20, 25%, I think you're doing good. You know, if you operating at 10 to 15%, I think you're doing good. But I would say my rule of thumb has always been about 20 to 25%. If you set that standard, right, 20 to 25%, you're going to do everything in your power to work towards it to get your business to that threshold that you set. I think 20, 25% is enough profit margin for you to be able to sustain and ultimately grow your business. You have to be able to profit and profit enough in order to grow your business. 20 to 25% is a good number to be at. Anything over that, you could just look at it as bonuses. But 20 to 25% is enough for you to grow your business, sustain, and ultimately grow your business. I have a guy with a Sprinter van and GA, DOT, no MC. Where should I point him to or try to do? When I have a guy with a Sprinter van and GA, DOT, no MC. So he's in GA, he has a DOT, but no MC is what you're saying. Where should I point him to or try to do for him? You could point him in the he could do front of mind, he could do medical supply, he can do local home delivery just on the smaller side. So you could point him to T-Force. T-Force has a good contract down in GA. I know some people that's running out of Sprinter van that's doing good. They got a guarantee on the final mile side for StockX, Zara, Abercrombie, not Abercrombie, but American Eagle. That's $225 a day guarantee. You really don't need a van for that. And then they got the Office Depot down there. So I would direct them to either to T-Force, Waco, Capstone, or maybe Spoke or another medical supply 3PL, and I think you should be able to do good. J Reg said, if I can't bring home 25 to 30%, I'm not interested. Yeah, I say 20, 25, you know what I'm saying? Anything over 25 is just a bonus. 30%, you know, setting the bar at 30%, I think that may be kind of high for some people depending on their circumstances. That's why 20, 25%. It might be a little bit hard for a person who has some costs associated with their business to reach that 30%, especially if they came into the space in the past couple years. 30%, I don't want to say it's unrealistic, but that may be a high bar to reach. So that's why I say more of a realistic 20 to 25%. Person reaching 30% and beyond that is a person that has low expenses, probably paid off truck, tenure in the space where their insurance is not that high, things of that nature. So, but like you said, you've been in the space 10 years, so you know 30% to you probably got a paid off truck, tenure as far as your insurance, so you can meet that. But a person that's coming in within the past couple years, they got a truck, nice truck note, nice insurance, 30% may be a little bit excessive. Not doesn't mean it's not attainable, but you know it may be a little bit harder for them to reach that goal. That's why I tell people 20 to 25%. It's more attainable. I like to coach people to get to something that is attainable, and then from there, you know, sky's the limit. Push themselves to push that bar up from there. I still would like to do consultations. Let me see. I still would like to do consultations, but but not with the box truck. Just want to learn about getting government contracts. I'm in the concrete trying to get my own truck. The money is crazy. Yeah, if you're a minority, I think the first thing you need to do is get a MBE. All right, that'll make it easier for you because now. So getting government contracts, you want to make it as easy as possible. All right. So if you're a minority, you want to get the MBE because in most municipalities, if you're a minority, certain percentage of government contracts have to go to minorities. So now you're instead of competing against the whole pool, you're competing against a smaller number where they have to guarantee a certain certain ethnic groups 25% of a said contract. So you want to make your chances better. So you need to do whatever you need to do to make those chances better. And I think one of the easiest ways to do that is, if you are a minority, go out for an MBE. If you're a woman, then go out for a woman. They have woman, they have disadvantaged business enterprise, they got woman business enterprise, they got minority business enterprise. Try to get as many of those as you can to make your odds better. All right. You want to go for the 25% instead of the 100%, because now when you're going against the whole pool, you're going against people that have been in the space for a long time, whose bread is a lot longer than yours, that have a lot more relationships than you do, political relationships. Their company names are known. When you're talking about construction, you're talking about companies like Walsh and Kenny, a lot of these companies that are nationally known in construction. And when those names pop up on a bid, they're likely to get it. So you want to put yourself in a smaller pool and compete against other minorities. And a lot of times, a lot of people don't know about these percentages. They got to go to minorities because they don't do the due diligence to put themselves in those situations. So sometimes you maybe put yourself in a situation where there's nobody to bid against, and because you're in it, you just get awarded it just off general GP because you're the only one in there. What else? Let me see. What else? Wow, we on T first. Would you still need cargo liability? Yeah, you're gonna need cargo liability. If you haul it, you're gonna need that cargo covered. Yep, you're gonna need a cargo insurance. You're gonna need your commercial auto insurance. You're gonna need your general liability insurance. Yep, you gotta have cargo insurance. You have to have cargo insurance because the cargo insurance covers the cargo. So you gotta have it. You gotta have it. What's up, Mark? Do you have any strategy on how to keep leads on Thumbtack? I have gotten a few moving jobs in my first month using the app, but I'm noticing a lot of the customers want low prices. All right, so I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you. Just like most apps, over the years they tend to get watered down. So Thumbtack is not what it used to be. You're gonna have customers that do want to go for the cheaper rates. You got an infusion of immigrants now that are in the space. You got immigrants that have their work permits, right? And then they got immigrants that have been bussed up to these different cities that they got working for them under the table, and then they're able to pay them very low wages. So it's going to be hard to compete with that now, so yeah. And then when you're dealing with the economy the way it is, a lot of people just don't have the money. So if you're a new person coming into Thumbtack, you don't have a lot of reviews. It may be a little bit difficult for you. So my advice to you is you need to look what the competition is, right? And you need to set a competitive price so that you can fit in with the competition. Now, you may not be able to beat some people. Whatever your cost is your cost, and you know what you need to make to come out ahead. But what you got to understand too is when you start a business, you need to build up your rapport. All right, a person who has hundreds and hundreds of reviews doesn't have to compete with those lead people. You got a standard. You've been around. You got hundreds or thousands of reviews. This is our price. Either take it or leave it. We him. You know what I'm saying? We them. We not these guys. We're American citizens. Our business is stamped and etched in stone, and this is our price. Take it or leave it. But you got to get to that point, and it's a little bit harder to get to that point now because we're dealing with an immigration problem. And me being in the space as long as I have, I've seen the space. I've seen it, and I'm seeing it change over to what we're talking about. Like I see the faces that are on moving trucks now. And that's your competition. So, being new, you're going to have to set a competitive price. I think a good price for moving on Thumbtack, I don't know what market you're in, but I think two guys, $100 an hour, 2 hour minimum, I think is a fair price, and maybe $150 truck fee. If a person is not willing to pay you in today's time, let's say for a 1 bedroom move or a studio move, you can get it done in 2 hours. $100 an hour, 2 hour minimum, that's $150 truck fee. $350 for 2 hours of your time while you got you and another guy going up and down stairs carrying items that they don't want to do themselves, that they could easily go rent a U-Haul truck and do themselves, then I think it's not worth it. You don't want to undersell your stuff either. I think $350 for 2 hours worth of work and move it, I think that's a fair rate. I think that's a fair rate. So what you need to do is you need to make sure that when you do book the jobs that you do, you take a lot of pictures. You make sure you pack the truck really well. Get a picture of the truck once it's packed. Make sure you're wrapping all the items to perfection. Take pictures of that because you really have to sell yourself being new on these apps so that when people are browsing the apps, you have a competitive advantage because they can see the product, they can see the work, and set that price and go from there. You're not going to win every lead, but if you can book 1 out of 5 leads, I think you're doing good. I think 1 out of 5 leads, I think you're doing pretty good. You know, if you can get to 2 out of 5 leads, then you're doing exceptionally well. Make sure when people hit you up on Thumbtack, you already have your automated response, which is general. 2 guys, 2 hour minimum, your price, whatever your truck fee is. 3 guys, 2 hour minimum, your price, whatever your truck fee is. Close it out with your information, your number, and you send it automatically. You got to be quick. And then once you send it, as soon as that lead comes in, you already got your automated response. You send it quickly, and then you follow that up immediately with a call because Thumbtack gives you the number. You have to call it immediately, all right? Because if you come against a person with tenure who has somebody that say they own a truck themselves, they new too, but they got their girlfriend at home that's on the app while they're working and they're responding. Their whole sole purpose is to respond to these leads. Then they're going to beat you to the punch every time. So even if you got to do that, you got to find your girl or somebody who's not doing anything and say, look, I'm going to give you $25, $30 a day. When these leads come through, I need you to respond to them automatically, and I need you to follow up with them because you may be on a job and you may have a couch going up 3 flights of stairs, and you may not be able to respond to those leads because it's moving season now, and those leads are going to be coming. So you got to think outside the box, all right? Whoever the quickest to the draw is going to get the job, especially when you're dealing with studio 1 bedrooms. You know what I'm saying? People with larger homes, 3, 4, 5 bedrooms, they're going to do a little bit more due diligence. You see what I'm saying? Because they have larger homes, which they have more expensive furniture, and they have to make the right decision. So they're going to do a little bit more due diligence. When you're dealing with dorms, studios, 1 bedrooms, a few items, they're pretty much looking for the best rate or who calls them first, especially people who call at the very last minute because they're probably getting a lot of we're booked. So you got to be really, really quick to the draw. Don't cheat yourself either, though. Set a standard. I think, me personally, and I'm in a large market. I don't know what market you in, but I think $350, you know what I'm saying, starting 2 hour minimum, $100 an hour for 2 guys. I think $150 an hour. 2 hour minimum for 3 guys. I think $50 a man is a good standard for a new person that's starting. I think $150 truck fee. All right. You want to make the marketing real simple. You don't want to say, okay, we charge this for that, this for this. Tape is going to cost you $15 a roll. Shrink wrap is going to cost you $50 a roll. We're going to charge you a long carry fee if the truck, we can't get the truck within 75 feet of the door. 3rd floor and up, it's going to be an extra $50 a flight. Anything above the 2nd floor, like you can't do all that starting out. You got to keep it real simple. So, let me see. Call me Cooley. What's going on? Get your Swan. Shout out to, man. It's like, man, whoever this hater is that come into my live, shout out to you, man. I appreciate you. I got to give you an air horn for the thumbs down. Appreciate you.
Yo, goof ass.
Appreciate you, though. Is it? Oh, let me get back to this comment. Get your SWAN certification here in VA. 30% must be given to minority business. So in my market is 25%, and VA is 30%. So every market, you know, the different municipalities, they have different guidelines. Here's 25. Cooley is saying 30% out in VA. So make sure you get all the certifications you need so that you can make it easier so you're not in the full pool. You don't want to be in the big pool. You want to be in the small pool when you're bidding for those government contracts, especially if you're a minority. Miguel, is it 750 or a million with T-Force? It's a million. It's a million. A million. So it was a mistake. So whoever did hit that, appreciate you. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes people hit the thumbs down by mistake and they correct it. So shout out to whoever corrected it. What did I obtain? What I did obtain, MC and DOT, the insurance, then DAT Lowe board carried me through 2022. That Lowe board, the way to go, honestly. Okay. You know, what works for you may not work for others. A lot of people complain about the Lowe board. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people cherish the Lowe board. You know, shout out to you though, J Reg. Nick in the building. Shout out to Nick. Happy Mother's Day to Nick. If you are a mother, happy Mother's Day to all the ladies that are in the building. Happy Mother's Day to everybody's mom. Hope everybody had a beautiful Mother's Day. Beautiful Mother's Day. Where do I leave off? Where do I leave off? Nick in the building. Okay. Gino McClinton. What's your best approach on getting dedicated contracts? All right. So dedicated contracts, if you're talking final amount, 3PL, LTL, I say apply. So what I train people, coach people to do when they're getting dedicated contract is know all the accounts that hold dedicated contracts. Now, once you know all the 3PLs, logistics companies that have dedicated contracts, see what those contracts are. All right. Now then do the process of elimination. What are you willing to do and what aren't you willing to do? All right. Most people don't want to do big and bulky final amount, right? If you don't want to do big and bulky final amount, you eliminate that. Now you know, okay, process of elimination, I can do curbside final amount. All right. And from there, you find the companies, the 3PLs that have curbside final mile contracts, and then those are the ones that you go apply with. Now, how do I foresee this sector in the next 5 years? I see this sector going up about another 5%. I think after 2024, listen, this year is a wash. I said that earlier this year. I know a lot of people said, nah, second quarter. The analysts are saying second quarter. I went against the analysts. History is, what Kirk say, history is best, whatever, when it's documented. Go look at my lives from earlier this year. The analysts were saying second half of the year, second quarter of the year. I said, no, this year going to be a wash. You're going to see consistency to where you see now. Actually, you're going to see lower because the market still has the bottom. Shortly after that, the analyst said in March, you know what, we made a mistake. They said what I said earlier. You go look at my earlier lives. I said that. All right, I said that. Now, with 23 being where it's at, and I think everybody sees that it's probably going to be consistent, it takes us into 2024. 2024, there's an election. And it's going to be a critical election. What's going to make 2024 critical? You got Joe Biden. I think he's rerunning. He'll be 82. All right. This man don't know if he's coming or going. All right. You got Trump. A lot of people, Trump can't run. He's indicted. Yes, you can. Trump can run. Anybody can run. A felon that's locked up in the federal penitentiary, a person who's locked up can run for president. As long as you're an American citizen, you can run. Indicted, locked up, whatever. All right. You can run. DeSantis, he still hasn't declared that he's running, but it's likely that he's going to run because he's doing the rounds right now. This election is going to be very, 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 very critical. And whenever there's FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, people with money, right, they don't spend it. They hold on to it to see what the results are going to be. I think you're going to see more pullback on how people spend their money going into 2024, depending on how the election goes. All right, depending on how the election goes. Some people may disagree with that, but history is best, whatever Kirby's saying, known when it's documented. If you go back to all the previous elections, when election time comes around, People scale back. People scale back. This election is very, 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 very critical. It's very critical. So I think 2024 is gonna be, I'm not too optimistic about 2024, and I think 2024 all depends on who gets elected into the presidency. I'm thinking things are gonna start to pan out in 2025, and that, like I said, all depends on who wins the presidency. You still got the Russia-Ukraine situation, which is a problem. That's a problem for us. Putin made a lot of threats still that he hasn't cashed in on. People forget about these things. The man said, don't get involved. He said, if you get involved, I got something for you. You're going to see havoc that you've never seen before. This is a promise that a man made. So even though he hasn't cashed in on it, doesn't mean he's not going to. So, there's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of things that, a lot of variables that determine everything. So I think as far as that market, if we're speaking on final mile is concerned, I think it's going to continue to scale because there's certain things in this industry that are just necessities. And people are going to have to get these things. If a refrigerator goes out, person got to replace their refrigerator. If their stove goes out, it's got to be replaced. You know what I'm saying? So you got a lot of warranty replacements. So I think this industry is going to continue to grow, which it has been. Final mile hasn't slowed down. It has not slowed down. It has not slowed down. So I think it's going to continue to grow. I think it's going to grow another 5% over the next 5 years. Cooley says a different conversation when emailing customers with those certifications on your signature and having capability. Yeah, so when you got an MBE or WBE or disadvantaged business enterprise, when you got all those things, it's a different ball game. It puts you in the door. It puts you in a room that other people that don't have those certifications can't enter into. So yes, that's why I've been pumping it for about a year now, that it's important that you guys, if you can obtain these things, you go out and obtain them. Kenneth, can you give us some strategies on how to reduce variable costs, to reduce CPM in the market, have this market hit bottom yet? I don't think it's hit bottom yet. But I think we may be close to it. Hold on, let me pull that back up so I can read it because you got a lot. Strategy on reducing variable costs. All right, so variable costs, it's simple to reduce variable costs. Let's talk about fuel for one. Like, some people are just lazy. Some people don't map out their route. They have apps now that you can see what the fuel is up the road. Mapping out your route, seeing where the cheapest fuel is at. Not being frivolous on certain purchases. You know what I'm saying? Listen, when I was on the truck, I would go to Walmart and I get the cheapest gloves to pump gas. I don't get the leather cowhide gloves. I get the cheapest gloves. Just simple things like that. You know what I'm saying? Paying attention to where you pumping fuel at. What other variable costs? Now, I'm not going to get petty. Like, some people, like, you got some people that's petty out there that they'll take the long route. You know what I'm saying? They've got to go from point A to point B. So like, if I'm going to the East Coast, from Chicago, I got to take the toll road, right? I got to take 80. But I know people that'll go the long way. They'll go all the way south. They'll go 94 to 65. They'll go south and then come back up because they don't want to pay the tolls. Like, those types of variable costs, I think that's petty. Things that you can control by mapping out and planning ahead, I think that's the best way to control your variable costs. I think fixed costs is something else. I know you didn't ask about fixed costs, but fixed cost to me weighs heavier than the variable cost. And I think when you are getting into business, I think controlling your fixed cost is very important. Probably more, it's equally the same, but I think controlling your fixed costs, I think a lot of people's fixed costs is what's getting them to trouble. I think a lot of people got high insurance, and I think they got high truck notes because they entered very ignorantly. All right. Variable cost is just, it's just making the right decisions. Making the right decisions, man. Making the right decisions. Being cheap, but not cheap to the point you're petty. You see what I'm saying? So I'm hoping that's the best way to answer that question. As far as strategy, and I think I answered your question about the market. I think it hasn't hit the bottom, but I think we're pretty much close to it. Shout out to whoever it was. I saw a super chat pop up. Shout out to M Nix for the super chat. Appreciate it. If you're on the Southwest, just know the Hispanics will likely make up the majority of the 25%, 30%. So really have the stuff together, bro, and just stand out. Let me tell y'all something. This is why I want to do a podcast on other stuff. Let me tell you something. And shout out to them. You can't knock them. All right. But I'm going to tell you one thing. If you've been lazy, you're not going to have an opportunity when you decide not to be lazy. So if you're a person who hasn't figured things out yet, you need to figure things out quickly, because I'm telling you, they're busting thousands of them from Texas up here every week, to the point where our mayor has sent numerous letters to the governor of Texas telling them, yo, stop busting them up here. It's getting to the point now where the neighborhoods that they're rehabbing schools, public schools that have been closed down, and they're housing these immigrants. The neighbors are coming out telling them, we don't want you here. The city doesn't know what to do. Right? But the ones that are here, eventually those ones that are here, I'm going to tell you what they're going to get. They're going to get a work permit. And they're going to start taking these jobs that a lot of people are too lazy and act like they don't want. And when times get tough and you got to get up and go get a job, you're not going to be able to go get it. So I think people need to be appreciative of the opportunities that are out here now and try to go snag something before you're not able to snag something. And that's all I'm going to say about that. I know we talked about the future and how the younger generation, how people are lazy and they don't want to take certain jobs, they don't want to do certain things, and certain things are beneath them. Listen, eventually you're not going to have the chance. So, let that sink in. Let that sink in. The money from curbside, no way, Jose. Give me the installs and everything will make that stop pay as high. Okay, so here you one of the few that opts to do final mile, big and bulky. Final mile, big and bulky is what made me. Let me explain something to you. I started with a moving company. Once I got introduced to final mile and I started the final mile company passed the moving company in the first year. All right, and you're right. That big and bulky, that installation, that's a different type of money. But goes back to what I'm saying. A lot of people in today's times, they don't want to do that type of work. They don't want to do that heavy work. And I'm not the one that's going to sit here and sugarcoat and say it's easy. It's not easy. It's hard work. It's very hard work. You got to have some killers. Forget dogs. You got to have some killers on your squad. You have to have some killers on your squad that's going to come to do that work day in and day out. And their bodies are conditioned that they're going to get up in the morning. I've had people first day get on the job, throw up, pass out, quit, walk off. Or I've had guys that I've hired in the past that'll go out, we'll put them on a truck, put them on a trainer truck where I got some killers on there, and they're going to let me know, look, he ain't going to make it. I don't even want to train this dude. Don't send him out tomorrow. Hey, Mark, don't send this dude out tomorrow. He's not going to make it. He ain't cut out for this. Some people just not cut out for it. But that bread is a different type of bread. You know what I'm saying? You are one of the few people that I've ever said, no way, forget curbside. Give me the installs and the heavy lifting. You one of the few. So we're in a different generation. I say it all the time. If I was coming into the space today with the knowledge that I have learned from all over the years, let's say I had a mentor that wasn't me, that was in the space as long as I've been in, that trained me, and I'm coming into the space now. There's no way I could do now what I was able to do then. There's no way. And I'm telling you this. There's no way that I would be able to do in 2023 what I was able to do in the early 2010s. because there's more opportunities now to make similar money doing way less work. And people's mindset aren't geared in that direction. There was people in those times that couldn't find any opportunity anywhere else. This was a lane that, the people that the job market would turn their back on could come to old Marky Mark, and Marky Mark would give them work. I'm not holding your background against you. As long as you don't got a theft on your background, if you got attempted murder, you can come work for Mark. I had people with attempts working for me. I'm not scared of them. You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I don't hold people's background against them. If you a thief, you can't work for me, though. I don't like thieves. Attempted murder, you come work for Mark. You can come work for Mark, and as long as the company that I'm sending you through, you can, if they allow you on the background, once I send you through the 3PL for the background, if they let you in, then cool. If they don't let you in, I got a way around that. I can't talk to y'all about it, but I got a way around it, and I had a way around it. I had people with attempts delivering for IKEA. I wouldn't be able to do that today. Why? Because a person could go out. Listen, in my market, I can't speak for all markets. It's people out here that's doing way less work that's making the same amount of money that I would be able to pay them in today's time or more. I know people that make $400 or $500 a day driving Uber. I know people that make $140,000, $150,000 a year driving rideshare. It's easy work. You're just driving. You're not lifting anything. So why would they come and work for Mark for $250, $300 a day? It's people that's doing DoorDash. It's people that's getting their own vans and doing it for themselves, because the e-commerce market is a lot more opportunity now than it was in the early days. Everybody has either partnered with an app or has some type of 3PL delivering freight for them. T-Force delivers for StockX. If you order stuff on StockX, it's going to come one of a few ways. It could come UPS, right? Or it can come via T-Force. Zara, T-Force. These opportunities didn't exist. Nowadays, every single company that's a retailer, whether they're selling clothes or whether they're selling furniture and appliances, has to have some type of final mile lane where they're getting product. Because nowadays, it's who can get the product to you the fastest. If Best Buy sells Samsung refrigerator and Lowe sells Samsung refrigerator, and they sell the same Samsung refrigerator, it's about, and they're running the same sale, the customer's decision on who they're going to buy from if they really need a refrigerator is who can turn it around the quickest. So, shout out to you, J Reg, though. It's refreshing hearing that, it's people that proactively would rather do big and bulky than curbside. And there's nothing wrong with doing either or. I know the earning potential and big and bulky is more money. I need what's going to make me more money, but I know in today's times, I wouldn't be able to do what I did then. And I'm being honest with people, you know what I'm saying? Letting you know, people don't have the same work ethic because there's a lot of variables in play where you can make money for doing less work. And then the mental, man, people just don't want to do that type of work no more. Or any type of hard work. You got people that complain about, listen. I'm willing to do anything as long as the money is right. Legal. I've never been the type of person to be scared of hard work, right? I've never been that type of person. I worked hard for years until I didn't have to work hard anymore, right? I come from a different era, a different generation. So my advice to young entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs that are coming into the space now, you know what I'm saying? Make sure that if you're coming into a labor intensive business, you have an open mind, especially if you're opening a business where you're dependent on other people, because I've seen a lot of people get burned, this way. Just have an open mind and understand the mentality of the job applicant in today's market. But shout out to you. Appreciate all the help and advice you give. Appreciate you. Yeah, to the Thumbtack question mark. I'm in the Raleigh, North Carolina area. I have a Sprinter van, so I charge $75 for the truck fee. Okay, $100 an hour for 2 minimum. And am I cheating myself? I'm averaging about 2 to 3 jobs weekly. Well, Raleigh, North Carolina, I've been to Raleigh. I've actually moved some people to Raleigh throughout the years, and I actually went on one of those moves to Raleigh years ago. So Raleigh is it's a major city, but it's not really a big city. Raleigh's population, let's take a look. Raleigh, NC population. All right, Raleigh's population about 500,000 in 2021. So, it's not that small actually. So you got about 500,000 people there. You're in a Sprinter van. You're charging $75 for a fee for the vehicle, $100 an hour minimum for the labor. Let me ask you this: what jobs are you marketing? Are you marketing moves? Are you marketing deliveries? Because if you're in a Sprinter van, is it a high roof Sprinter van? A 1-bedroom in a Sprinter van is kind of pushing it, depending on how much stuff they got in the 1-bedroom. I don't think you're cheating yourself. I think you're spot on for the labor. I think you're spot on for the fee for the vehicle, since it's a Sprinter van. I don't think you're cheating yourself. I think charging any more than $100 an hour for labor, I think may be excessive in your situation. I think charging any more than $75 for the brand may be excessive. If you go down, I think you're cheating yourself. I think you need to find ways to market yourself better. I don't think you should just solely rely on Thumbtack. I think you need to sign up for TaskRabbit. I would stay away from Angie's Leads. I think you need to build a powerful website. I think you need to market yourself a little bit better. Take pictures of the jobs that you do, the good jobs. Make sure you take pictures of the van when you pack it. Make sure that you wrap the items 100%. Take pictures of the items. Make sure that when you do a job, you send those notifications to those customers for them to leave reviews for you. Reviews are very important, especially when you're new. People look at the reviews. The more reviews you have, the better. Because people, when it comes to moving, people want to go with experience, right? Because you're moving their personal items. No one wants to hire a mover that's going to damage their couch or their bed. No one wants to hire a mover that's not going to wrap their mattress. Like, when I drive past and see some of these fly-by-night companies, they don't even wrap people's mattresses. Listen, I've owned a moving company for many years, and I tell people the thing that I've always trained my guys to pay the closest attention to is mattresses. All right, I train my guys to look for bed bugs. Person got bed bugs, turn them away. Call it in, we not doing it, because I don't want bed bugs on none of my trucks, because it costs a lot of money to get rid of them. All right, so you need to take pictures of that stuff. Wrap the mattresses with shrink wrap fully. Take pictures of it. Use that for marketing. We 100% wrap your mattresses free of charge. Why? Because you already did the marketing. That's covered in the truck fee or the van fee. You need to market yourself. You're new. You don't have tenure. You don't have experience. You don't have that visual that when a person comes into that page of yours where, okay, these guys been in the game 10 years. Let me look and tune to them. Let me get rid of the guy who says been in business since 2022 that only has 3 views. Let me get them out the way. I'm looking at these 2 companies. This guy got 800 reviews. This guy got 1,000, and they've been in the business for a long time. The only way you're going to compete in the moving business versus companies that have years of experience, you have to market yourself really, really well, and you have to target a certain demographic. You need to target a certain demographic. You need to target the young urban professional. You need to target the demographic who is on a time crunch. right? They want to get the job done within the 2 hour minimum because you're looking to build your business, you're looking to build your clientele, you're looking to build your reviews. You don't want to market to the person who lives in, if you get this job, cool, but you really want to market yourself to the young urban professional who has the hand-me-down furniture. You want to market yourself to the college student with the dorm or to the parent who's paying for their college student. You want to market yourself to the person who's living on someone's couch who calls and said, look, I just got 10 boxes. I got a roll-up mattress. I got my guitar. Those are the people that you want to market to. You want to, and that's how I started my moving business. I marketed to the young urban professional who didn't care. Their furniture was raggedy as hell. They didn't care if you scratched it because it was already raggedy as hell. But you're gonna, once you narrow down to that demographic, you're gonna book a lot more moves and you're gonna get a lot more reviews, which is gonna put you in a higher tier, and you're gonna be seeing more. Another trick with Thumbtack is knowing where to set your leads because they got this new thing with max leads. I wouldn't recommend paying for that. I wouldn't recommend going all the way to max because what you're doing now is you're increasing how much you're spending on the leads, right? And ultimately that's going to drain you. I would set a nice little happy median, and I would really try to market to the young urban professional. I would really try to market to the young urban professional. I don't think you're cheating yourself. I think if you ask me, hey, Mark, I got a Sprinter van. What should I charge? What you're charging is what I would tell you to charge. You just got to market. You got to narrow down your demographic. You got to narrow down your demographic to a young urban professional. College students, dorms, you need to focus on small deliveries. Hey, I bought a couch in IKEA. IKEA is telling me the third-party company they use is going to take 3 days. Man, can you guys come get it today? I would market myself. I do $100 couch deliveries. I would do $100 couch deliveries. I would market myself. Listen, go to the storage facilities. Print up you some business cards. Go to the storage facilities. Leave your business cards on there. Most storage facilities have a board where you can pin your card to. Offer the storage facility person, look, everybody that comes in here that's moving in storage or out of storage, because one thing a lot of people that go into storage facilities, the ones that don't rent U-Haul trucks, man, do you guys know any movers? Man, go into there. Usually only 1 or 2 people work in storage facilities. This is something I used to do. Go in there, bring them Subway, then buy them lunch. Look, anybody that's moving into the storage, when they rent their unit or when they're moving out and they ask you, do you have recommendations do you guys know any movers? Buy them lunch. Tell them to call you. Anybody that needs a mover, here, tell them call me. Buy them lunch and give them a referral fee. You know, anybody that y'all send me, I got $50 for y'all or $25 for y'all, whatever it is. This is how you build up your network. You got to do these things at the beginning. So I would go to all the storage facilities that don't rent out U-Haul, and I would talk to the people that work there. It's not many, only 1 or 2 people. Most you're going to find people working at a storage facility, about 3 people on rotation. All right. Public storage, a lot of public storage is how the apartments on top and the manager of that public storage lives on site. Say, look, every person you send me, I got a $50 referral. Simple as that. And that's how you build your business. That's how you build your business when you get into the moving game. So just keep networking, keep marketing your business, man. Appliance installation are not slowing down. Exactly like I said, appliance installations are not slowing down. If my refrigerator goes out, I gotta get a new refrigerator. I gotta pass somewhere to put my food. If my washer and dryer goes out, I gotta either get it fixed. You know what I'm saying? Have Sears come out or that third party company come out. You know what I'm saying? And fix whatever, the dryer heater, or light the ignite thing, light it or whatever, the pilot, you know, whatever it is. Or if not, if they tell me, look, man, this washer and dryer done seen its best days, man, you might want to get a new one. I have to get a new one. I have to wash my drawers and my socks. You see what I'm saying? It's not something that can wait. You know what I'm saying? If my stove goes out, I gotta bake my salmon. I like to eat my salmon. I gotta bake it. You see what I'm saying? So it's not slowing down. Right now, somebody's washer and dryers has seen its last days. So National line haul for semi has dropped to $1.50. Can this get any worse? Possibly. It's saying we still haven't seen the bottom. That's why I'm saying if we haven't seen the bottom, we're pretty close to it. I think we're close to it if we haven't seen the bottom yet. So 60 miles per hour max. Damn, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm kind of behind on the chat. So shout out to Louis Duran, man. Louis Duran, how you been, man? I ain't seen you in the labs. I ain't seen you in nobody's labs in a while, man. I'm glad to see you still out here ticking, man. Thank you for stopping in. See, I remember everybody. Through my course of time on YouTube. Stop blaming immigrants for all your stupid business decisions. Who said I was blaming immigrants? I didn't say I was blaming immigrants. See, there's always somebody that come in late and catch the ass into something and say something. I never blame immigrants. I told people, if you came back into the earlier part of the live, I told people to get their shit together or immigrants are going to take their job. I said no knock to them. I said they're going to work and they're going to take your job. I don't like when people come in, ass in, and then they get to talking crazy. Man, bro, do your due diligence first. Nobody said nothing bad about immigrants. It's racist mentality to blame immigrants for every issue. Who blamed the immigrants? See, that's what I'm saying. People come in, ass in. Moving is my side hustle. I have a contract with Staples. I'm not going to hit the button on them because I just think this person came in mid-conversation and didn't hear me say to lazy Americans, I shitted on Americans. I big up the immigrants. I said they're going to take your jobs. I hate when people come in, ass in, and get to talking crazy, bro. I'm not going to hit the button, though, man. I'm going to give a person a pass for coming in, ass in. Moving is my side hustle. I have a contract with Staples right now, but I'm trying to get the moving popping. How much should I charge for jobs moving 1 to 3 items in the same building? 1 to 3 items in the same building, still charge the 2-hour minimum. Unless it's one item. Listen, if it's one item, I need a couch move from the first floor to the second floor bedroom. Depending on how far the job is from where you're stationed at, $100, $150. For me, it's $150, $200, right? Overhead is expensive. You got to know what your overhead is. So if you got a helper and you got one job, how much is it going to cost for your helper to come in for that 15-minute job? All right. I'm not going to have nobody come in for less than $150. You see what I'm saying? So by you being a hustle, $100 may be enough for you. You could pay the person $50 and you take $50, or you might have to charge $150. You got to know what your market is, because guess what? A lot of moving companies, they don't care if it's one item or 100 items. The price is the price. We charge $150 an hour with a 2-hour minimum. We got to charge you to wrap it. Well, it's only going up 1 flight of stairs. Well, listen, we still got to wrap it. They're going to charge a person that same hourly rate with that minimum like they're moving a whole house. Big companies are going to do that. They don't compromise. The rate is the rate. They prefer not to do those little jobs. They don't have the time to waste on them. Big companies like Wheaton, Mayflower, Atlas, 2 Men in a Truck, they don't have time for those little jobs. Mayflower, Wheaton, Atlas, they're doing cross-country moves, corporate moves for $30,000. Well, companies are relocating. I work for Google Silicon Valley. We need you to go work in the Chicago office for a year. Yeah, we're going to cover the cost of your moving. They go to these companies, Mayflower, Wheaton, Atlas, $30,000. They're doing these moves. They're not worried about that, I need my couch moved down to the basement. Or, man, I just ordered this treadmill, curbside delivery. I didn't know it was curbside delivery, so it's at my front door. Can you guys send 2 guys out here today to move it? It's on a pallet sitting at they dropped it. They didn't leave it at the curb. They dropped it at the first stair, but it's sitting out in front of my house. Can you send 2 guys out to come bring this thing in my house and bring it down to the basement? If you guys don't set it up, that's fine. If you guys will assemble it, even better. How much more for you guys to assemble it? So for those specific jobs, you gotta bill them out on a case-by-case basis. But you don't want to cheat yourself either, because it's going to cost you to get to that job. You got to pay your helper. All right. So $150, $200 minimum still. Because you shouldn't be having a guy come in for that one job for less than $100. I think in Raleigh, $100 to come do a 15-minute job, because that guy took time out of his day. He could have been doing something else to drive, meet you, go to that person's house, do that little 15 minutes and go back. So anything past 2 items, then they got to pay an hourly rate. They got to pay an hourly rate. But then how you market to them for the same build and move is you start the hourly rate with the minimum, but instead of charging them a truck fee, you charge them a travel fee. So boom, if your truck fee is $75, right? Because you're going from point A to point B, since you're only going to one stop to take a couch from the first floor to the second floor, or maybe move 3 items, right? Let's say you're moving a bedroom from the first floor bedroom to a second floor bedroom. It consists of the mattress, the box spring, the frame, let's say a mattress, a box spring, a chest, and a dresser. 4 items, right? You charge them the hourly rate, $100 an hour, 2 hour minimum, that's $200. But instead of charging that $75 travel fee, just cut it in half and charge truck fee. Just cut it in half and charge them a $35 travel fee. Still cover the cost of you traveling to them, right? Or charge them a $50 travel fee. Well, man, we don't need a truck. We don't need. It's not. Well, why are we traveling? Well, we got to travel to you. This is covering the cost of traveling to you. I have to pay the guy to travel to you. That's how you do that. You give them a discount, but you still charge them the travel fee. You just change the language and give them a slight discount. So that's what I go when I say marketing. You got to know how to market. Where's this MN guy? Oh, here we go, man. Here we go with this, man. By the way, I'm talking about immigrants from Africa, your brothers, but with focused mindset. Let me tell you something, man. Africans from Africa treat African Americans very badly. I had an African pull up to me yesterday. Yeah, I was parked funny, but I parked funny for a reason. This guy in a cab pulls up next to me, starts yelling at me. So I let my window down. He can't see inside the vehicle because the windows is tinted. I said, man, who you talking to? You yelling at me like I'm some type of goofy. I said, man, who you talking to? If you wanted me to move up, only thing you had to do was ask me to let my window down and ask, look, I'm trying to park. Can you just scoot up a little bit? But he want to pull up talking crazy to me. So guess what? I stood there and I said, dude, listen, Africans treat African Americans like shit. Now, as far as what we was talking about earlier, I was talking to Americans, lazy Americans, saying, listen, lazy Americans, if you don't stop being lazy, immigrants are going to take your jobs. And they are. So I don't see where you came in on the ass end of the conversation and said we were complaining, or I was complaining about immigrants. I was bigging up the immigrants. I was shitting on Americans, lazy Americans. So I don't know what you talking about, Brody. You dig what I'm saying? But since you want to talk about the Africans treat black Americans like shit, brother. So it is what it is. I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing. They think they better than us. So it is what it is. You want to have a conversation? Let's have it. You want to have a conversation, brother? Let's have it. Black Americans get treated by other ethnicities better than Africans. Africans treat us like shit. You want to have that conversation? Because I had that conversation with you. I don't deal with them like that because I don't buy the fake Louis Vuitton and the fake Gucci belts that they be selling. So I really don't have interactions like that. But the few times I have interactions with them, like yesterday, dude, it's a reason why I'm taking up 2 parks. Because this was a person sitting in front. I didn't want them to back into mine. I'm protecting my vessel, my whip. I'm pushing a spaceship. I don't want, so you all he had to do was pull up, man, let your window down. Brother, please, could you move up a little bit? I'm trying to park. And I would have been like, all right, I would have backed. I wouldn't have pulled up. I would have backed back. But he let the window down, yelling, I man, dude, who you talking to? What you say? I said, man, who you talking to? I don't play that shit, dog. This is how they talk. So I'm talking about. You talking about Hispanics, Greeks, Italians have all treated me better than Africans. Africans just start a conversation yelling at you and stuff. Like, man, who you talking to? All right, let me get back to where I left off, man. This dude, M&N Trucking, that came in here and trying to start something, man. I still ain't hit the button on him. He tweaking, though.
You tweaking.
You ain't. I'm going to give you a you tweaking. You tweaking. All right, so, right, Pippi, what is this dude talking about, man? Man, go up out of here with that goofball stuff. Shout out to, man, somebody left a super chat. Shout out to M. Nix for the super chat. Man, I let Eminem come in and throw me off my square. Talking about immigrants built this country. You know who built this country? Slaves. Donald Trump even told you that. Slaves built this country. This guy talking about, man. Slaves built this country. My ancestors and every black American's ancestors, slaves. We were brought over here. And see, this is what I'm talking about. He's African. He comes in here talking crazy. Don't even know what he's talking about. Get up out of here, man. Mark, how would you calculate your service fees per day per stop for a territory that has 393 packages and 355 average stops? 355 stops? Listen, UPS and FedEx ain't doing 355 stops. Per route? Is this one vehicle route 355 stops? I don't think that's doable. I'm just keeping it 1,000 with you. And I'm saying that using the measuring scale of UPS and FedEx. They're doing 200 stops in peak season, they make it up to 260, and that's adding another person on the truck as a helper. 355 stops. I'm gonna be honest with you. I wouldn't calculate that. Because I don't think it's doable. I don't think it's doable. And before you even tell me who this is for, I'm gonna assume this is Laser Ship on track. Let me know if I'm right or wrong. Big Zo, $60 per hour per man, $250 loading fee is the going rate in my city. Moving items in the same building just charge 2 to 4 hour minimum. See, $60 per hour per man. Well, that's in his city. Yeah, so every city is different. Every city is different. Oh, let me make that big. And then they doing 4 hour minimums. 4 hour minimums. See, Sheridan, he trying to build up his clientele. I think 4 hour minimum for somebody new that's in a van would scare people away, because a lot of his jobs ain't gonna get to 4 hours. A lot of his jobs ain't gonna get to 4 hours. He in a van. If I was him, I would stick it to 2 hours. Me personally, I would do $50 an hour. But Big Zo, Sheridan, what city are you in? You might be in a larger market. Pass me the immigrants, bro. They hungry. They so hungry, they gonna make your business profit. I had a few call. The girl come pick them up on the route. Oh man, is this dude still in here, man? No, he gone. Hi, Mark. I'm sorry you have that experience with Africans, but to be honest, Mark, African look up to you, African American 100%. So don't feel that way. And by the way, not all Africans speak that way. Listen, I hear you, but the majority that I've come across, I've seen the way they treat Americans, and I'm not the only one that feels like that. Obviously, other people have seen it. I've experienced it, even with this guy coming in. You know what I'm saying? Coming in, don't know what he's talking about, and just saying some stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I mean, I judge people off each individual experience. You know what I'm saying? I judge people off each individual experience. It's just unfortunate that the majority of experiences I've had with my brothers from Africa have just not been pleasant experiences. They look down on us. And I'm just telling you what I've seen and what I've experienced. Why do they yell? Why are you yelling? You know, why are you yelling? You see what I'm saying? So you can't say it's racist because we got the same color skin. But I truly feel, I've heard and I've experienced that, I feel like they look down on us. So, and a lot of people in the chat are agreeing with me. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't think they're agreeing with me just to agree with me. I just think a lot of people have experienced the same thing, so I wish it wasn't like that. I wish it wasn't like that. Love me some L said, yes, this is Laser on track. Yeah, I somebody else hit me up for that Laser ship on track with them same specs. And I'm gonna be honest with you, if that's for one vehicle and that's not for a route with a multitude of vehicles, 400 packages, 350 stops. I don't know. Somebody got to prove me wrong. And like I'm saying, I'm using a bar. I'm using a measuring stick. And the measuring stick that I'm using is UPS and FedEx. All right. They're maxing out at about 260. I wish Zupchuck was in here. He was a UPS contractor. I mean, a FedEx contractor. They're doing about 250 to 260 in peak season. Stops. That's with a helper during peak season. I just don't think 350 stops is, I'm just being honest with you. I just don't see it. I don't see it. Yo, Mark, I'm eating out here, OTI. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Pippi. Can't be mean now. We can't be mean. We're not going to be mean now. We're not going to be mean. Just got a contract with Sleep Number for $500 to $600 a day. How much should I pay the driver and the helper? I had Sleep Number. I had Sleep Number through a company called Installs, which now is NAL, which has been acquired by CRST. Here's the thing about Sleep Number, because I've had this contract. I think you need to pay handsomely because it's tedious. You got to build the beds. You got to build the beds. You got to build the frame. You got to build the mattress. You got to hook the holes up. You got to blow it up. And if this is through NAL, through Installs, you also got to, at the end, once you build a bed, you got to do a tutorial with the customer to tell them how to work it. Every time because this is a contract, I don't know if you got the same thing when we were doing, this was a contract that was, I wouldn't say it was seasonal, but we would get it when they would have their annual sale and we would run it for a couple months. Nobody liked that contract. So I've always had to pay handsomely when we did that contract each time because it's tedious. It's building those beds can be very tedious. I don't know what market you're in, but I wouldn't be able to pay what I would pay for, I'm trying to think the last time we did that, what did I pay? I think I paid $175, $200 to the driver and $150 to the helper. I was doing more than $600 a day though. I was doing more than $600 a day for that account. So doing about more like $750 a day. So I think $175, $200 to the driver, 150 to the helper. And even with that, I'm gonna be honest with you, even paying that, they're gonna complain. Sleep Number is a contract, it's tedious and it's time consuming. When you each stop, you're gonna be at each stop for about an hour and a half. Yep. I hate that contract. And everybody I know hates that contract. So I think you need to pay handsomely. You need to pay whatever you need to pay that they not going to complain. And even when you pay them something where they not going to complain, eventually they're going to complain again because it's a tedious, like, that's just a tedious contract. Anybody that got a Sleep Number bid knows what I'm talking about. So imagine doing 5 of them a day. And then the thing with Sleep Number is, even in my market, when we've done it, the routes aren't condensed. They're like all over the place. One, because only a select amount of people can afford or are willing to pay for a Sleep Number mattress. So you might have this stop here, and then the next stop may be 10, 15 miles away. So you're driving, you got time in between each stop, and then each stop you're spending an hour to an hour and a half there. And then the worst times of having this contract is right at the beginning because the crew has to familiarize themselves with assembling these beds. You know, you got to put everything together, the frame, you got to put the mattress together, you got to put the air holes in the socket, blow it up. Man, it's just a lot of work, man. It's a lot of work. You in Richmond? Yeah. I would pay whatever you need to pay to keep them happy. Just make sure that you profit something. Even if you profit $100 a day, then at the end of the day, you're going to have to keep them happy because that's just one of them contracts that it's very tedious and they're going to complain and you're going to have to pay very handsomely to keep them satisfied, to keep them doing it, and to give them the incentive to even want to come and do that. Like I've had people that say, you know, I don't want to do this no more with Sleep Number. It's not heavy or nothing. It's just very tedious, man. It's very tedious. Yeah. Would you do Lowe's contract with one truck? Yeah. If it's just you and your one truck, then yeah. If you're a new owner-operator or owner-operator who just operates out of one truck, yeah. If you can get a Lowe's contract in the market, different third-party logistics companies that have Lowe's pay different. If you're with a 3PL that pays pretty good for Lowe's, I know recently JB Hunt up their pay for Lowe's, and you were one of the 3PLs that has a Lowe's contract, and you can get somewhere between $4,000 and $5,000 a week, and it's just you and your one truck, and you got a helper. I think that's good money. Why not do it with one truck? If you can get good at it and you can bank some money and you can onboard a second truck doing it, then so be it. But yeah, one truck, you make a nice amount of money. How would you market your moving company, Mark, to get those long distance moves? Should I pay for advertising by Google? I didn't start getting long distance moves until after being in business for a few years when those customers were like, yeah, you moved us a year and a half ago, 2 years. My job, I'm moving to wherever with my job. Do you guys offer long distance moves too? And that's how I started doing long distance moves. And basically, once I got tenure in the space and I had repeat customers and word of mouth started to kick in, people will inquire about long distance moves. And that's how you can market yourself as a long distance mover too. Like Thumbtack, they have a giant for long distance move. You're going to pay a lot more. Like a long distance move lead on Thumbtack is going to cost you a minimum of $100 and up. So, you know, you paying $100 for a lead. That's because you may be booking a $5,000, $6,000, $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 move, and they know this. But the thing is you're in competition. So I wouldn't say promote on Thumbtack because it's too much to, you know, put your company in that category on Thumbtack for those leads. I would say over time you're going to start getting those inquiries, but you can use free services to market long distance moving. I'm not too fond of Craigslist nowadays, but you can utilize Craigslist. You could utilize I think you need to build out a good website and make sure it's search engine optimized really, really well, using good keywords like long distance moving. For long distance moving, I would also recommend using Google AdWords. I wouldn't recommend it. I think you can market your business locally without paying Google, But I think long distance, I think you should pay Google. I think it'll pay off because you're making thousands of dollars on the move, and you need to be in the you need to be in the running for those moves. So, and you need to make sure when you search engine optimize your website. So when Google sends that spider to crawl your website and pick up those keywords, you need to make sure you got those keywords throughout your website. Even if you got to put it down in small letters on every page at the bottom of your website on every page, then do that. Long distance moving, and then list every state. So I would hire a good search engine optimization person to optimize your website, so when Google sends that spider to crawl, you come up when people are looking for a long distance mover. Long distance moving is something that I wouldn't try to do just starting out in the moving. I would really try to learn the business locally first, because long distance moving, you do have to charge a flat rate. You can't charge by the hour, so you need to be able to visualize that move from point A to point B and charge a flat rate. And you don't want to lose because you're going outside your market. When you're doing a long distance move, you're charging the customer for everything. All right, for everything. Even your per diem. You're going outside your home market, so you have to include the cost of per diem in there. They have to feed you. You see what I'm saying? So I don't think that's something that I would recommend a person that's just starting to do. Maybe after a couple years, 2-3 years, then you can start venture out and marketing into the long distance move. If you want to do something close by, a state over, something like that, then I think that's cool. But cross country, you really have to know what you're doing when you're pricing it out, because you got to include hotels, you got to include tolls, you got to include. That's not something when the customer calls, hey, can you move me from Chicago to LA? Yeah, I can take your name and your number. We'll give you a call back within 24 hours for the quote, because you have to build that quote. You got to really build that quote because it has to be spot on. It has to be spot on. So where did I leave off at? Definitely pay for Google advertising with long distance moves. I don't think you need to do it with the local moves, but definitely get a Google AdWords account for long distance move. Make sure you search engine optimize your website really, 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 really well. You dig what I'm saying? Y'all still talking about choo-choo? They are told to stay away from Black Americans when they come over. I see the the FBA is in the building. Profound Truth Pip. Where did I leave off at? I saw that. If you are in the California Central Valley, tap in. I'm looking for networking with the box truck family out here. We got to stick together. Y'all already see what's going on out here. Shout out to Central Valley Best LLC. Pippi said, my best contractors and final mile have been Hispanic males. My best employee in a cleaning business were Hispanic females. Nobody here knocking immigrants. Yeah, I think he came in ass in. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand how somebody knocking when I'm telling them I'm knocking Americans, the lazy Americans, and saying, man, immigrants going to take your job. But people hear immigrants and they automatically thinking a person is talking bad. And I just wish people would do their due diligence before they get to rambling and running off at the mouth. Because then I got to hit a button on them.
You tweaking.
I didn't give him Goofy because I just think he just didn't know no better. Goofy, like, you really got, like, I ain't just going to hit the Goofy button just to be hitting it. I have 14K saved. I'm looking for Ford Transit 250. I heard you say I don't need to put down payment, or do you think it's better to use some on a down payment? I'm telling you what I've done. I don't put down payments on nothing. I think putting a down payment is the worst thing you can do. All right, this is my opinion. This is the way that, listen, when you buy a lot of vehicles over the years, you get cool with the finance managers. You get cool with the salespeople. All right, I bought a lot of vehicles, company vehicles, personal vehicles, and I tend to stick with the same dealerships. putting money down. Let me tell you how rich people buy cars. One, rich people lease cars. Like luxury cars, rich people lease them. About 85% of rich people lease luxury cars, right? When you buy a car, putting the money down is like you're knocking off $17 to $18 for every $1,000 you put down. That money can serve a better purpose than giving it away, because that's pretty much what you're doing. You're not really knocking that much off. You put $10,000 down, you're saving $170 on your note a month. Whoop-de-doo. You see what I'm saying? But that $10,000 can be working for you. That 10 grand can be working for you. With the right investment, that $10,000 can double. In the short, depending on what you invest in, you could probably double that 10 grand in a week. I don't put money down on cars. The last time I put money down on a car, the salesman said, why are you putting this much money down? Because see, I had this mentality listening to rappers, and I was still learning how to be a smart business guy. I went in there, moving business doing good, had the IKEA account, making a lot of money with that. I'm finna go buy me a BMW. I go in there with my little $10,000. I'm thinking I'm somebody. Went in there, got approved, none of that, all that going through. He come back with the finance, what they worked out in finance. I'm like, man, hold on, I'm putting money down. He said, well, how much you want to put down? Put down 10. Why? That's what he said. He said, why? He said just like that. Why? I said, why not? He said, you're only saving about $17 for every 1,000. Don't you want to keep your money in the bank? I didn't understand at that time. I was 33 years old. I was ignorant. I can admit I was once ignorant too. The stuff that I tell y'all guys, when I say it comes with experience, it really comes with experience. I made a lot of mistakes too. I never did that again. I didn't understand when he was telling me that, but the next time I came, which was a year and a half later, I came back. I wanted to upgrade. I just jumped from one 750 to another 7. Except I jumped from the 750 to the 750M. I got the M. All right. So, but this time when I came in, everything that he talked to me about that first go around, I did research on it. I talked to other people that were successful in business. I talked to another sales guy with another dealership that I buy vehicles from as well. When I came back, not only did I not put any money down, I didn't finance the car. I leased it. Right? I talked to my accountant, because my accountant was very upset with me when I bought that first, because he said, why you didn't get it under the business, and why didn't you lease it under the business? It's a write-off. So when I came back in, I leased it under the business, and I didn't put no money down. And since then, I have never put money down on any company vehicles or any personal vehicles, because my money is going to do better for me out in the world than it is taking off $170 off a note. I'd rather just pay the extra $170 or $200 or whatever it is. If the note is $1,200, me putting $10,000 is going to bring it down to $1,000. No, I'd rather pay the $1,200, because I can use my 10. My 10 can be working for me out here in the world. So I don't put money down on vehicles since that incident. I learned, and to each his own. You do what you want to do, but I don't see the sense of putting money down. So I don't see it. That 14,000, you can do more with that 14,000 out here in the world. So I don't need to put a down payment. Do you think it's better to use some of the down payment? No, I don't think you should put a down payment. If you can walk off the dealership with it without putting money down, then that's what I would do. But you got to do what's best for you, man. If you feel like putting the down payment is going to lighten the load or whatever, then you got to make that best decision for you. But me, 14,000, nah, I'm going to keep that in the bank. Can you run freight with T-Force if you are your own carrier, or do you have to lease on? Nah, you can run it as your own carrier. Run it as your own carrier. What certifications do you recommend getting to be competitive in this market? I think if you're not Hispanic. Well, if you're Hispanic or any type of minority, I think you should get a minority business certification. If you're a woman, I think you should get a woman certification, woman business certification. I think if you're a disenfranchised or disadvantaged business, I think if you qualify, you should get that certification. I think any certification that you can get that is going to give you an edge, I think you should apply for it. I'm in NYC looking for a Sprinter van. Do you have any info on where to start looking? Looking for a Sprinter van, I think you should look cars.com. You know what I'm saying? Here's the thing. What type of Sprinter van are you looking for? If I was getting a Sprinter van, I like Ford Transits and I like Mercedes-Benz Sprinters. I think if you're looking for used, I would look on cars.com, Yahoo Auto. I would go to the dealerships and see what they have. Go to the dealerships website, see what they have on the market. And then I would start from there, and then I would start shopping and pricing around and go from there. Simple. Cargo vans is easier to find a cargo van than it is a box truck. So I would just simply go on the website, cars.com, Yahoo Auto. If you want a Ford, I would start looking at the Ford dealerships websites in your area, see what they have on their lot. If you're looking for a Mercedes, I would start going to those websites, seeing what they have in stock on their lots, and go from there. Answer that. This is about the Africa stuff. True. They don't accept you if you're from here. No. Yeah, I think y'all I might have ran them out. I'm working as a pimp. How do I optimize my girls? Hey, Pippy, did y'all get rid of sugar? Did y'all get rid of sugar? Hey, sugar.
Yo, goof ass.
Hey, sugar.
Goofy as hell.
Come on, man. I ain't got time for that. I don't like pimps. So don't come over here with that goofy ass shit. Hey, Pippy, did y'all get rid of him? Yeah, but still block him. We got women in here, and it's Mother's Day. Like, you're not finna come in here disrespecting nobody. Block him, please. Block him. Block him. I don't got time for jokes, and I definitely ain't got time. I got a mama and a sister. I don't play them type of games. Oh, Nick, shout out to Nick. I didn't know you was in here. I forgot you was in here. Yeah, block buddy. I don't play games, especially them types of games. It's a time for game playing. It's Mother's Day, man, and you talking about pimping. I've been working as a pimp. How do I optimize? Like, come on, man, your goofy ass on somewhere, bro. Our worst contractor was African. He was begging. Hold on. But I'm back. Fat and Furious said you've been gone for a while, but you back. Glad to have you back. I'm in Toronto. I do movie jobs. I think I said that one. Just got a contract with Sleep Now. I talked about that. There's a video online of a dude in Africa talking garbage about us like we're garbage. Yeah, I'm still talking about that African shit. Yeah, I already know the biz. Y'all ain't got to tell me. That's why I stood on business when he said it. Like, I ain't backing down to nothing. I said what I said, and he was talking crazy. Wasn't nobody even talking about. Like, he came in here and got ran up out of here. Goofy, man. This is my first 26-foot box truck venture, and my toughest hurdle has been purchasing the right used truck. I plan on running local partial and full loads from DAT. Any advice, good brother? I think you need to talk to Kirk about running partial. I know how to do it, but Kirk is the king of partial. So I think you should go talk to Kirk about partials. I'm not gonna step on his toes. And I think he's better suited at directing you and coaching you on the partial game. All right. Where's a good place to find used Sprinter vans? I think used Sprinter vans are everywhere. I would first, if I was looking for a used Sprinter van, the first thing I would look for something pre-owned certified. If I'm looking for a Ford, I want to go to a Ford. All right. You can't get it certified if you buy a Ford Transit from a Chevy dealership. They're not going to certify it. Don't work like that. But let's say if I was looking for a Transit used, I would go on every website for Ford dealerships in my city, and I would see what's on the Ford lots and see if I could find something that way that was pre-used, pre-owned, certified. If I can't find nothing that way, then I start looking outside of the Ford dealerships. All right, I start going on cars.com or yahooauto.com and then go from there. But my first stop would be the manufacturer, the dealerships. If I'm looking for a Mercedes Sprinter, I'm going to whatever Mercedes-Benz dealerships are in my town. I'm going to this dealership's website, seeing what they got. I'm going to the next dealership, seeing what they got. From there, then I go looking other places because at first I want to get something that's pre-owned certified. In order to do that, you have to buy it from the dealer. All right. So if it's a Ford, you got to get it from a Ford dealer. If it's a Mercedes, you got to get it from a Mercedes dealer. If it's a Ram, you got to get it from a Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep dealer, whatever. So that's where I would start, and then I would go outside that realm. Okay, that's fire. It gets greater later. I was saying now. Okay. You talking about that short I did? I used to work for the airport doing deliveries of luggage, but in a compact and local runs don't pay much. I can still go back because the manager's a family friend. I might go back when I get a van. I think when you get a van, you may be able to find work where you might not have to go back. There's a lot of opportunities out here for a van. I know with the luggage thing, if you can work out a side deal with them or direct deal, then that's cool. But I know Rody has the contract, UPS has the contract delivering luggage for Southwest and Delta. They use UPS, and then UPS phones all that stuff through Rody. Shout out to you, Fat and Furious. Madman Serpents, what up? Mark, my van is under 10K, but I'm planning on getting a 26-foot box truck to do OTR in the near future, like August. Should I get my DOT and MC from now so it can age? I think you should go ahead. If you plan on running, yeah, go ahead and get it. You already got your van. Mark, my van is under 10K, but I'm planning on getting a 26-foot box truck. I think if you already got a van, just go ahead and get it. You're going to buy it under the same company, I'm sure, that the van is. So you should have I don't know what you're doing in your van. But if you can't be doing contract stuff because then you would still be required to have a DOT. So, yeah, I would go ahead and get it now. You already got a vehicle, so you might as well. Oh, Eminem's still in here. Oh, he talking about search engine optimization now. Okay, that's what's up. I'm ready to buy a 24, 26 freight engine box truck. Should I start a logistics company and start my own with an app, DOT? Listen, if you're going to buy a 26-foot truck, I would start a company and I would use the app secondary. I wouldn't buy a 26-foot box truck to run off the apps. I think that's too large of an investment to run off something that's built to be secondary. So I would definitely start your business, get your DOT, all your authority, and try to get dedicated work. And then I would use the apps as a secondary backup. I wouldn't invest that type of money to run off the apps. Not for a truck. Maybe a van, yeah, but not for a 26-foot box truck. Why do you look for certified pre-owned? Because it gives me more assurance. It gives me more assurance. Assurance, not insurance. Assurance. Mark, I'm just telling you the truth. If not for you, there would be no African immigrants or immigrants. African Americans fought for all the freedom immigrants are enjoying in America. Point. Listen, that stuff dude was talking about earlier, that stuff don't phase me because clearly he's ignorant. He said immigrants built this country, and everybody knows slaves built this country. Now you can consider slaves immigrants because they were bought here, but I consider them slaves. Yeah, I'll never forget what my ancestors went through. So that's just an ignorant person who proved my point. How Africans look down on African Americans. See, he proved my point. While I was telling my point, he proved it. So I ain't tripping on buddy. You see, he ran up out of here when he got thick because it was the truth. Mark, we need to change that mindset and love each other. True. I don't have, you know what I'm saying? It's people, listen, and that's why I want to talk about this other stuff. You're right. We do need to change that mindset. But it's people like that that's ignorant. I treat everybody the same way. I treat everybody the same way. But when a person say some ignorant stuff like he did, and then when the tables turn, he can't handle the pressure. You see what I'm saying? They look down on us. We don't look down on them. We spend money with them. I don't, but there's a lot of people that do. I treat everybody fair. I don't have no ill will. I was raised not to hate. You know what I'm saying? But it's people like that that come in the room that say these goofball things and you got to correct them. Slaves built this country. The former president told you that. The guy that everybody loves to hate said slaves built this company. Black slaves. Yeah. Appreciate it, sir. I understand what you're saying. Well said, Mark. I'm a Chicago native representing Texas. I would deal with a logistics company so I can gain revenue. Thanks for the advice. Shout out to you. No problem. All right. I think I answered everything unless somebody got anything else to say. Anyone doing curbside in Florida, throw me a bone. All right, let me do my shameless plug then while y'all getting y'all questions again. If not, then I'm going to skedaddle. All right, so tomorrow, a big night tomorrow. We're going to answer a lot of questions that people got, and we're going to get this out. Let me share my screen real quick. All right, so tomorrow we are going to have a broker here, and he's going to be exposing all the secrets that y'all want to know, and we're going to find out if brokers are getting over on carriers, and we're going to find out who controls the rates or what determines the rates. And we went out and we got a broker. We can't, you're not going to see him. You're just going to hear him talking. We got to conceal his identity because he's still a broker. He works for a company, so he's going to be whistleblowing, not just specifically on his company, just in the space in general. The untold secrets, things that you guys aren't supposed to know as carriers, things that brokers aren't going to tell you. So we're going to conceal his identity so he can keep his job. And this is going to be tomorrow. We're going to do this. We're going to start the show 1 hour earlier tomorrow because we have to respect his time. He's a broker, so he has to get up very early in the morning. So we are going to start the show at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time, which is going to be 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We're going to start the show 1 hour earlier. I don't know if we're going to allow people to ask questions because, he may say some things that are going to piss a lot of people off. So we got to protect him. And, but, we may take a few questions from the audience. Good questions, not ignorant questions. And that's what we're going to do tomorrow. So make sure y'all tune in. I'm going to continue to push the envelope and bring y'all the content that y'all want to hear, bring the people that y'all want to talk to, and get the truth out there. So hopefully people will be able to come listen to that tomorrow and take that information and do with it as they may. Um, all right. So any questions? Any questions? If not, I'm gonna get out of here. Once again, Sunday nights are gonna be put on hold. I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy my summer on Sunday nights, and I'll maybe do a pop up here and there on Sunday, and then I got the new podcast coming. I think it's gonna be cool because we're gonna be talking about a lot of different things: trucking, the community, finances, maybe a little sports here and there. But basically, it's going to be me talking about. It's not going to be self empowerment. It's going to be maybe self betterment, cultural betterment, if that's even a genre. And if it's not a genre, I just created it. I think somebody got to start talking the real as far as the mindset and how we need to change our mindset so we can do better. I think what holds a lot of people back is their mindset. I think what holds a lot of people back is their mindset. So I want to talk about it from a few different angles, and I'm building that out. You know what I'm saying? I would have loved to talk about Ja Morant today and his mindset and the people he got around him that's not standing on business. Listen, if I had a homie that was in the league, that's my ticket too. I'm not going to jeopardize my ticket. You see what I'm saying? If I got a homie that's in the league, I'm not going to allow him to do nothing goofy like that. I'm not finna ride with him. See, those are leechers. Those are hanger-on. They serve no purpose. They serve no purpose. And clearly, clearly the people around him just not good for him. So I want to talk about things like that and how his mindset, he has a poor mind. Here's a guy who ain't even built like that. He ain't cut like that. He don't come from that, but he's trying so hard to be that. And you got $230 million on the table and you steady doing goofball stuff. So I guess Ja Morant should love his friends from a distance and take care of himself and his family. I don't think it's necessary. I'm not putting the blame on what he's doing on his friends. I think the blame of what he's doing ultimately goes on him. But if they're really his friends, they should stand on business and be like, bro, you're going to mess it up. Listen, if I got a friend, that's my brother. I'm not going to let him jeopardize the bad, because if a friend make it, we all make it. That's just like if one person in my circle make it, we all make it. Because we look at LeBron. He's a great example. He made it and all of his friends made it. One of his best friends is the number one sports agent. His other homie, media company, Maverick Carter. He put all his friends in position to win. And they're winning. They do everything to protect his image. Those are friends. And then they get rewarded with opportunity. And then they were able to flourish from the opportunity with him making it. It put them in the spotlight to get opportunity, and then they made it. The people that are around Ja are allowing him to do that because they're yes men. One of them need to choke him up and slap him up and say, man, you messing it up for us. If we the real thugs, if they the real thugs, see, they not even real thugs, because if they was, they would know that that's their opportunity. Like, man, shorty, you not finna mess it up for us. This our ticket out. You our ticket out. Bro, why you got a gun, bro? You ain't even cut like that. The picture already out on the internet with you with the penny loafers. You went to private school, bro. You ain't cut like that. I don't even think Young Boy thinking about it. He want to be Young Boy so bad. But yeah, he definitely an idiot. Rich Paul is the greatest agent. See what I'm saying? Rich Paul, Maverick Carter, like all LeBron homies is doing good. Them the type of homies you need around you. Let me see. Have you done anything with Twitcard for business? No, I have not. I have a Ford 250 Transit. How do I land a contract? Is it something I apply for? What logistics company do you recommend starting out with in the South Florida area? Yeah, you can do a contract with a 250. You land a contract by just simply applying. Make sure you got your authority, your DOT authority. You got your insurance. Make sure you got your cargo insurance, your general liability, your commercial auto. And then you can apply. You can apply with 3 companies: T-Force, Waco, Capstone. There's another company you can apply with, US Pack, but that's not one that I really like to promote. I think not US Pack. I think T-Force, Waco, Capstone is probably a good starter contract to have, delivering office supplies. You can also deliver medical supplies. There's a few different companies that you can sign up with delivering medical supplies. The one that I like to promote is Spoke Logistics. I would start from there if I were you. So I would structure my business if you haven't already. If you don't know what structuring your business means, Google it. From there, you would need to go get your authority. These are all things that you can find online. And then from there, once you get authorized, then you can go start applying at these third-party logistics companies. Capstone, T-Force, Watco, for contracts like Office Depot, Staples, Granger, things like that. Is buying a Ford Transit for $36K a good price for under 50,000 miles? What year is it? I don't know. I think that's kind of, what year is it and what spec is it? Is a 150, 250, 350? Is it an extended length? Is it a high roof? Interstate screw, dog, an idiot. Yeah, buddy, definitely an idiot. Appreciate the advice earlier. Come on, man. Where is this at? Appreciate the advice earlier. Just started watching your channel. I'm unsure what kind of market I'm in. I'm in Patterson, New Jersey area for cargo van work. Patterson, New Jersey. That's Patterson, New Jersey. Why is Patterson, New Jersey? Is what rapper? Ain't that buddy with one eye from Patterson, New Jersey, right? What's his name? Patterson, New Jersey. What's buddy name with the one eye? Let's see, Patterson, New Jersey. Population. 157,000 people. Yeah, it's a small town. So where you at? I would see what's in your area first before I start the business. If you haven't started already, I would do a market analysis, see what's in your area. What's the nearest town? What's the nearest larger city next to Patterson? If you got a larger city that's closer that you could travel to and work out of, then I would consider that. Your population isn't that much. So I see Jersey City is a population of 283. Newark is 307. I don't know how close these places are to you, but 157 is kind of low. So I would really do a good market analysis before you do anything, to ultimately see if it's worth it or if you may have to work out of another market if another market is close. So you're supposed to pull your homeboy's coattail when he going wrong. Yeah, but clearly those guys ain't. They stupid. And it's a possibility that the Grizzlies will void his contract and let him go and possibly be banned from the league. It's a possibility. I just don't know what's wrong with him, man. I don't know why he's trying so hard to be something that he's not. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's plenty of people that would love to be in the opportunity that come from that would turn their back on that in an instant. You know, if they could have the opportunity and the money that he has, and he doesn't come from that, and he wants to be that so bad. Like, bro, you're not tough, bro. The internet has clowned you. You know, you went to private school. You ain't cut like that. It's people, and it's obvious. People that try that hard to prove something is 100% times ain't cut like that. And you a hooper, bro. You the star player on the team. Like, bro, why? Why? You in the suburbs standing on top of Rolls Royce Cullinan, bopping with a gun, bro. You in the suburbs, bro. Like, I just don't get it. Where's his old man at? I blame his old man. I blame his old man for not standing on business. The first time, maybe, yeah. But this is a reoccurring situation with him, which lets me know that now that he's the breadwinner for the family, his parents don't have control. Listen, I don't care how much money I got and how successful I become. I'm going to always respect my mother. I'm never going to embarrass her. He's embarrassing his parents. I know his father at every game. His father living a lifestyle. His father is no longer his father. Ja is the father, the mother, and the head of that household, and it shouldn't be like that. And it's sad. You know what I'm saying? And situations like that make us all look bad, believe it or not. You know what they saying? We can't get them S. See what happened when you give a black person money? Even though he's an individual, but they look at us all like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, he's in a situation where he can build generational wealth for years and years, and he's about to mess it all up. So he's a retard. He's a retard. I've lost friends because of that, trying to let him know they were going to bow. Yeah, man. Man, you gotta have good people around you, man. Like, I don't want no yes man around me. Yeah, pull my coattail, because I'm gonna pull yours. You see what I'm saying? So I think he needs to not only necessarily change his friends. I think he needs to get closer with God, and he needs to realize he's a goofy and just be a good goofy that knows how to play basketball. It's okay not to be a thug, bro. You grew up in the suburbs. You went to private school, bro. Embrace it, bro. You a hooper, man. Go mess with some of these chicks, man. Go, like, this is what I understand. You a hooper. You the star on the team. We should see you on TMZ walking in and out of clubs in Hollywood with the baddest chicks. But every opportunity you get, you with a bunch of guys and waving a gun. Like, bro, like, I don't, like, man, something wrong with Buddy, dog. Something wrong with Buddy. Buddy need help. Buddy needs some help. You want to be around guys waving guns and you Ja Morant. Boy, you better go find you some girls with them lip things, the big lips, them fillers in their lips, with that honey bronze skin, with that curly hair, boy, down in Arizona. Well, you tweaking. You want to sit up in the car and bop and wave guns listening to NBA Youngboy. That dude goofy. I keep going back and forth between the Transit 250 and 350 because I'm unsure what is a better investment for my area. Here's the thing. What do you plan on doing? The 350 may be overkill if you don't plan on really hauling. Do you plan on hauling a lot? Do you plan on pulling trailers? What do you plan on doing? The 250 may suffice. You know, what do you plan on doing long term? You know what I'm saying? What's the most I would spend on 26 for box truck? Also, what's the most miles you would look at when buying a truck? The most I would spend on a box truck if I was in the market right now, probably about 40 grand. Maybe 45. But 40 grand would be kind of like, my threshold. I've always bought trucks around the 250 mark. 250 has been my threshold, my cutoff. Fetty Wap, yeah, that's the guy from Patterson. Any advice on taking a leap of faith when I have no help on anything but have the ambition and believe in myself? First time leaving my 9 to 5. I don't really like to answer questions for people that's leaving their 9 to 5 because I don't want to be the guy that if it doesn't work out, man. You know, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think, see, I never. It's just, and I don't like answering that question because that's not the path I took. You know what I'm saying? I didn't leave a 9 to 5. I think leaving a 9 to 5 is very risky. I think it's very risky. Uh, uh, and I get the leap of faith, no risk, no reward. It could work very, very well, but then again, it may not work. Uh, I really don't want to. I really don't want to give you advice on that. I think it's a risky, gutsy move. Um, because there's no guarantees in anything. You know, there's no guarantees. You know what I'm saying? I think if you ultimately do decide to do it, I think you need to, make sure you've done your proper research. Make sure you listen to people that know what they're talking about. Formulate your own opinion. Enter with as minimal overhead as possible. Pray to God. You know what I'm saying? Pray to God. Uh, and hope for the best. Um, but I can't. I don't feel comfortable. You know, I just giving advice on that risk. I just don't. Never have. Never will. I just think you need to just really, if you do decide to do it, man, make sure you cross all your T's, dot your I's. And I don't know what your financial situation is. I don't know if it don't work out. Can you go back to your job? It may work out, but you always, the way I was raised, you always gotta hope and pray for the best, but still prepare for the worst. Just make sure that if you do leave your job and you do enter and then say it doesn't work, see if you have the opportunity to maybe go back to your job, talk to your boss, let them know your plans. And if they can't guarantee you can get your job back, make sure you have some type of plan B. I think that's the best advice I can give you. Make sure you got a plan B. Yeah, Fetty Wap, that's him. High Roof 2018. What was the question? Is buying Ford Transit for 36 days. Whew, man, 250. High Roof 2018, man. At 36 is pricey, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. The last time I was in the market looking at a van, a 350 high roof extended length was brand new, was 33. I know that was pre-pandemic, and I know the rates and the market is inflated right now. 50,000, 36,000 for a 250. Man, I would be looking more at 30. High 20s, 30. 2018. And that may just be the market now, but to me, when I was in the market, that's high, bro. That's high. To me, it's high. Um, I would see if you can find something closer to 30, man. I would see if you can find something closer to 30. I already have a family company. Do you know what's the requirements for renting a box truck about insurance? If you got a company renting a box truck, you're gonna have to add that box truck to your insurance that you already have, since you already got a company. So if you already got a company, you say I already have a family company. So if you already got a company, you want to rent a truck, you want to add that to your fleet, you would just contact your broker and add that one to your insurance. Simple as that. Obviously, your rate's gonna go up, and you're probably gonna have to add another driver. So I wish he could understand he has a child and recognize he ruined her life. And Buddy is pretty goofy. John Moran should be Russell Wilson and live the square life. I think that's. I think everybody's trying to, like. I really don't get it. We know he loves NBA YoungBoy. The NBA YoungBoy ain't thinking about him. NBA YoungBoy probably laughing at him. Like, I just don't get it, bro. I don't get it, man. I don't really get him, bro. People that are cut like that want to change. Listen. And that's how you know he ain't cut like that. People that's from that, they happy to get away from that. That's what people work hard for, to get away from that. He never grew up in that. He doesn't live in that now. He's thugging from the suburbs, standing on top of a Rolls Royce, thugging from the suburbs, waving guns. That he's never going to shoot anybody because he's never going to be in the environment where people are. He's going to be in the suburbs. He's too scared. He wouldn't put himself in those type of environments. So I don't really know I really don't know where his mind is at. Where's his father at? Where's his parents at? Yeah, he only 23, 24, but still, bro, like that's goofy. That's goofy. He's goofy. I have a box truck and a Ford Transit. I can make money on the apps I have, and I have Class CDA as well, both paid off. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Yeah, so I don't know, but hopefully that stuff with Ja work out. I doubt it though. I think they're gonna give him a lengthy suspension. I don't think they're gonna get rid of him out the league. They might suspend him They might suspend him for the season. They might suspend him for the whole next season, but I hear you reference T-Force and Cardinal Logistics often for 5 Mile. Those two contracts, only 2-man jobs like Appliance delivery. T-Force has 2-man and they have 1-man curbside. Cardinal is all 2-man. Cardinal is all 2-man furniture and appliances. T-Force has 2-man and 1-man contracts. So T-Force has a 1-man contract with Home Depot. You said get Ja the tweaking button? Nah, Ja don't get the tweaking button. Ja get a harsher button than the tweaking button. Let's see.
That's stupid. Use your common sense.
First of all, he needs to use his common sense because I don't think he got nothing.
Yo, goof ass.
He's definitely goofy. He's goofy because we not respecting Ja. We know you ain't cut like that.
Goofy as hell.
And he's definitely goofy as hell. Because he in a position that, like I said, people dream of, and he's trying to be something he not. So, yeah, he get worse buttons than the tweaking button. What's a good price for a used 26-foot box truck right now? I've seen between 50 and 65,000. Let's go to Penske. I always like to use Penske as a bar. Let's go to Penske real quick. Oops, hold on. Let me just go to Penske real quick. All right, let me share my screen. Let's share. All right. So all right. So let's check price. Let's go to lowest price. All right. This is probably a CEL truck. Yep, it's a CEL truck. All right, so tweet 6 Freightliner, level 1. Let me see something. Oh, these gonna be CDL. I know that's a CDL. I know this is CDL too. That's a CDL too. No, this is not a CDL. All right, so the cheapest truck I see right now is about $36,750 for a 2017 Freightliner with 275,000 miles on it. So this is a 2017, like you asked for. Let me move myself out the way. So 2017, 272,000 miles. I've seen between 50 and 65,000. He got one for 36,000. So I guess it's all the way where you look, and it's a level 1, so exceeds DOT standards and have passed pre-sale inspection. So he got one for 36, 272,000 miles. Probably don't got no lift gate. Let's see. Nope, it don't got a lift gate. So if not having a lift gate is not something that bothers you, then you can get one for 36,000. I know a lot of people don't like international, but this is CDL one. This is 38. CDL required, no. Let's see if this one got a gate. Nope, that one don't got a gate. So you can get a Freightliner 2017, 2015, decent mileage for under 40, but it's not going to have a lift gate. It's not going to have a lift gate. It's a CDL. Go 2015. That's a reefer. No, it's not. CDL required, no. No lift gate. So under 40, no lift gate. What is this? Is this a 268? It go 2016. He know 268. So this is non-CDL 41. This one got a gate. So right at 40. Remember I said my threshold would be 40. So he got one at 41 with a gate. Obviously it's a non-CDL because it's a 268. And you right at 41,000 for a Hino. So it's all where you look. It's all where you look, Rob. It's all where you look. All where you look. So I just found you a Hino for 41,000 2016 with a lift gate. That is a level 1. It's a level 1. So I can keep looking, but you got the website. You can go in there and browse in your market and see if you can find something close in your market. Hopefully I gave you point you in the right direction. You're just probably looking in the wrong places. I wish Ja Morant was your friend. You can give him some sense. If Ja Morant was my friend, I would stand on business. And if he still wanted to act goofy, we just wouldn't be friends. I'm not the type of person that just because I got a friend, let's say, that made it and made a lot of money, I'm going to kiss his ass because he can buy me nice cars and I can get nice gifts and I'm just going to be a yes man. I'm not going to do that. Because later on down the line, that friend would realize I was one of the friends that was pointing in the right direction to the point where I removed myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to remove myself, so, I just feel like some people, once they get so much money, they just, you can't, if you notice a lot of people that came from, it ain't gotta be the struggle, that just came from normal life to superstardom. A lot of people that you see them around in the beginning, you don't see them around as time goes on. And that's either for good reasons or bad reasons. Sometimes people move from around them because the celebrity is moving wrong and they just too real that, you know what, I'm gonna remove myself. I don't care about the fame and the fortune. You're not the same person. You're different. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to be a part of that. You know what I'm saying? some people you see move around because some celebrities and some people know that the people that they came up with aren't going to be good for them going forward. So they have to remove themselves from some of the people that come from certain environments that don't know how to let that stuff go. You know what I'm saying? If I come from a rough environment, a rough upbringing, and I'm made it out and I've been able to pull my mother out and my family out, and I got people that I bring around from, let's say, the neighborhood. When they come around, they don't know how to act. You know what I'm saying? Huh. I'm on live. I'm on live. All right. And they don't know how to act, then I gotta remove myself. I gotta remove them. I'm sorry, I gotta remove them. Um, and that's all. I think he needs good mentors around him. Somebody that's not a yes man. Somebody that's gonna go upside his head. Somebody that doesn't care about the money that he respects. And if he's not, if he's too big head, then I think he needs a swift punishment. And that's gonna get him right. That's gonna scare the shit out of him. And that's just the honesty, because clearly he don't respect his parents. Like, I'm not gonna disrespect. I'm not gonna get on national TV and keep making the same respect thing, because that's that. I'm from the ghetto. You see what I'm saying? I'm from the ghetto, but just because I'm from the ghetto, I'm not gonna act a goddamn fool on a national stage and embarrass my parent. Because now everywhere that parents go, people are looking at them crazy. Like, man, what's up with like I'm not. I think about things like that. I'm not gonna embarrass my mom. You know what I'm saying? But to each his own. I think Buddy just need the right people around him. And I think he needs some help. He needs some type of help. Maybe NBA, somebody need to reach out to NBA Youngboy. Maybe NBA Youngboy need to tell him, listen, buddy, you can't let my music turn you up. Because every time he do some goofy shit, he listen to NBA Youngboy. Maybe NBA Youngboy need to talk to him. I don't know. Uh, uh, okay, thanks. I was asking because I'll get started soon. I don't mind going OTR, but if I can get a 1-man contract, that would be great. Yeah, I think once you get your authority and everything, just apply. Just apply. You know what I'm saying? Just apply. Apply with multiple places that got 1-man opportunities. US Pack, T Force, Capstone. There's a few places that got TQL. There's a few places that got 1-man opportunities. Just apply to them all and see what happens. If you are doing a final amount contract for Home Depot or Lowe's and a claim is made by a customer, who is that claim against? Your company or Lowe's? It's made against you. Shit rolls downhill. So if you go into somebody's house and you scratch a floor, they're going to call the store. The store is going to contact the logistics company, and the logistics company is going to let you know that they're taking whatever that is out of your settlement check. Now, you can dispute it, and different logistics companies handle disputes differently. But usually those disputes are resolved very fast, very fast. So and usually they don't go in the favor of the contractor. And ultimately, what happens is whatever it comes out to, it's taken out of your settlement. If it's something that's really expensive and you need to claim it on your insurance, then so be it. But if it's something minute, and when I say minute, I'm not talking like $50, $100, $200. I'm talking about $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. That's minute. That's not something that you would want to put a claim in your insurance for, because it's not worth it. Your insurance is going to go high. Always save your insurance for the big stuff, and $4,000-$5,000 ain't the big stuff. That's something that you want to pay out of pocket. So that's who the claims. Shit rolls downhill. That's the term, and it really is that with this. The store definitely ain't gonna pay for it because they didn't do the damage. The logistics company ain't gonna pay for it because they didn't do the damage. It's gonna ultimately fall on your company. Now, how you handle it is on you. Are you gonna just man up and take it? If you're not on the truck, are you gonna charge it back to your crew? If it's something that's a couple $1,000s, then obviously your crew, they're not making that type of money. And you taking it out over a period of time, eventually they're just probably gonna, leave the company. Depending on if it's a $20,000, $25,000 claim, they're not paying that. So that's something that 25,000, you probably want to file that on your insurance, but even 5,000, they not going to pay that, man. They're just not. So ultimately, it's gonna fall on you. That's something you're gonna have to pay out of your pocket. $500-$600, you can tax them for that. You can take that out, and they won't feel it. You can take it out over a period of time. But like a 4,000-5,000, that's like a floor where you got to replace a whole hardwood floor, where they got to come out and redo the floor, and they quote $5,000-$6,000. Yeah, you're gonna have to hit that. You're gonna have to eat that one. Is it worth investing more for a vehicle with air ride suspension? It's to each his own for vehicles. It's to each his own. You know what I'm saying? It's to each his own. My plan for the short term is going part-time as a driver for a moving company while doing spoke and delivering matches for my friend. He builds them in gig work. Goal is to pay off van by end of the year. My plan for short term is going part-time as a driver for a moving company. There's nothing wrong with working for another company or a friend that has a business. That way you can learn while getting paid. You know what I'm saying? So that way when you start your business, you have some experience. There's nothing wrong with that. I think that's a great mindset to have. A lot of people just want to go straight into it. A lot of people have this boss mind state where they don't want to work for somebody else, or they don't want to humble themselves while they're working for somebody else, learning the ins and the outs of the business. So just by you telling me that lets me know you have a good mindset, and I think you're going to go very, very far. What's good, Edgar? Took your advice on using my Spanish and reached out to my Latino people on home moving. I'll be reaching out to you again soon on some strategies. I'm glad you took my advice. Shout out to Edgar. Hey, Edgar, it was a guy here earlier that must have came in on the ass end of something I was talking about. And here's Live and Prove. I had a coaching session with Edgar, and I coached Edgar into Edgar's Hispanic, and I said, man, you're in the best position right now. With everything that's going on with immigration and you speaking the native tongue, you have a good advantage over everybody else because you speak the native tongue. And this is just let you know that I'm not against immigration. I already know where it's headed. I know where it's headed. It's nothing, and it's not nothing anybody can do to stop it. So shout out to you, Edgar. I know everything's gonna work out for you, and I think you are, a year from now, you're going to be coming back to me thanking me again. You're going to have a powerful success story because I know where it's going. I know where it's going, and I know the opportunities that are out there, and you're in the perfect position to capitalize. You're in the perfect position to capitalize. You're the perfect position to capitalize, and you're in a perfect position to take advantage of a lot of the resources that are going to be given out for job placement. Because what's going to happen with a lot of these immigrants that have been brought here, right? They call them asylum seekers, right? Like the ones that got bust up here, they're here. So we have to do something with them. So they're going to get a green card. They're going to get a work permit. And then there's going to be government resources that are going to be given to businesses to employ these people. So, Edgar, you're in a great position because once these resources start kicking out, you'll be able to apply for all of them and win them all over because you speak the native tongue. I guarantee y'all, in a year from now, Edgar is going to be one of my best success stories for me coaching. Watch. Because the resources coming. They gotta employ them. They're here now. Eventually, they're not gonna want to continue to house them and pay for their food, pay for their housing. Listen, okay, they're here now. Let's give them work permits. And every business that gives each one an opportunity will award you X amount per immigrant or asylum seeker you hire. On claims, if you don't have proof, you didn't do damage. You automatically pay for it. Right. And most of the time, they're going to, even if you got proof, let's just keep it 1,000 with them, Pippi. Even if you got proof, like, hey, in most cases, they still going to make you pay for it. They're going to majority of the time, they're going to always side with the customer. At the end of the day, they not want to pay for it. Sometimes in some situations where if it's just blatant, like it was obvious there, like some customers say, okay, you did this scratch, but a fresh scratch is obvious, more obvious than a scratch that's been there. And the logistics company knows how to tell. You know what I'm saying? I can tell a scratch that's been here for years versus a fresh scratch. You know what I'm saying? So stuff like that, the logistics company like, yeah, this obvious, this scratch has been here. It looks worn. The scratch is it's discolored. A new scratch is just like a wound. You open, you down to the white meat. That's how a new scratch looks. It looks clean. It hasn't been mopped. It hasn't been swept. It hasn't been walked on. A scratch that's been there, it looks worn. The scratch looks worn like the floor. So situations like that, people trying to pull that old okie doke. In situations like that, then yeah, you're not gonna have to pay for it. But in some situations where man, it could go either way, and ultimately it could go either way. Man, they might have not did it, and they might have did it. Ultimately, you did it. Ultimately, you did it because they ain't gonna pay for it. They control your check. They have your check. So, do I only need a factory company when running Lowe boards? When should you use a factory company? Well, I've never used a factory company running Final Mile. Final Mile, you get paid once a week or once every 2 weeks. I've always been able to sustain. The cost of running Final Mile is not exorbitant like running middle mile over the road. When you running over the road and you running hard, you burning a lot of fuel. You have a higher cost. So I've always been able. Factoring a Final Mile, I have never had to do that. I don't think anybody should have to do that for Final Mile, especially if you're just starting off and you're in the truck. So mostly OTR. I've never even talked to anybody that has factored Final Mile. You get paid once a week. Now, when you first start a Final Mile contract, it's a waiting period. It's a holding period. So you may have to work the first 3 weeks before you get a check. But even still, you should have enough money to sustain your business at the minimum 3 months. So even if you start a contract tomorrow, Monday, and they're like, okay, well, you got to work 3 weeks before you get your first payment, you should be able to run for 3 weeks and pay your helper and cover fuel for 3 weeks running Final Mile. So people said you fight to the end. Yeah, I've always fought to the end too, but sometimes it's just whatever, man. We're gonna pay it. By the grace of God, I haven't had really bad claims, you know what I'm saying? We done bought a few flat screen TVs, we done bought a few baby cribs, you know what I'm saying? We done repaired a few walls, we done repaired a few floors. That's just the name of the game. The longer you're in business, you're gonna get jobs. People are gonna make mistakes. That's just the nature of the Final Mile business. You're gonna have guys that are gonna make mistakes. You're gonna have things happen. It's inevitable. It's gonna happen. You just have to be prepared for it, and that's one of those expenses that you have to be prepared for. That's where your cash flow comes in. At the business takes losses. Not every business, like you got your losses, like your operating losses, like your overhead is too high, you're operating at a loss, but you also have normal losses. Those are losses that are user error. This is a user error too, but this is just a something that you have to budget for. Eventually something is going to damage. It's just the nature of the Final Mile business. It's the nature of the moving business. But you have money, you have cash flow for the business to absorb those claims. That just is what it is. The key to claims is keeping them to a minimum. Keeping them to a minimum. If you getting 2-3 claims a week, then it's something that you're doing wrong. You need to retrain your guys or retrain yourself or whatever. A claim a month ain't bad. I think that's excessive. I think maybe one claim a quarter. I don't even think that. You know what I'm saying? I think maybe 2 claims a year. If you and those claims, those gotta be man, I tripped, I missed a stair. So when I missed the stair, I dropped it, man. So I 10th job of the day. Man, I don't know what happened. You know, it's Friday. We've been running 4 days straight. It's been a rough week for us, man. We done had some heavy loads. I get that, a mistake. But like careless stuff, oh man, we didn't wrap this, or we didn't cover the floor, or whatever happened. You know, goofball stuff that can be prevented, that goes to lack of training. You gotta train your guys, take them back to the drawing board. Why would you set the refrigerator down and push it? Why wouldn't y'all just keep it on the straps and set it in position? What made you sit it down in the living room on the hardwood floors and think you was gonna roll it? You see these floors, they dark hardwood, they dark mahogany, dark cherry oak wood floors. Why on God's green earth would you set it down and push it? You already got it strapped up, just carried it all the way. You know what I'm saying? But some people want to take shortcuts, and usually when people take shortcuts, that's when mistakes happen. The Texans always say they didn't do it. I would say it looks like they did. The text always say, I will say, if it looks to me like they did it, I don't fight much. I think when you hire for Final Mile, you want to make sure you got some honest guys that, you know, when they do make mistakes, they step up and own it. I think if you train your guys to step up and own it, I think it makes your job easier. You know, and I think guys that will step up and own it, those are the guys that make very minimal to no mistakes. So you wanna make sure that when you hiring guys and you training them how to prevent claims, you also want to, you know, train their mentality to understand that, man, you want to treat people's stuff like it's your own. And each place they go into, each house they go into, each apartment they go into, each home they go into, they keep that in mind. And you also want to instill with them that the shit rolls downhill. The hill don't stop until it gets to them. And technically, they're the people that actually did the damage. So you want to make sure you have a handbook when you hire people on board them, that they sign something that says, you know, you break it, you bought it. On a case-by-case circumstance. You know, some circumstance you might want to split with them 50-50. Some circumstance you might want to just eat it. Some circumstance you might want to, they would just completely careless. You might want to take the whole thing from them. But you need to have that in writing. And when they sign this, when they're on board with your company, it's instilled in them like, yo, I don't want to pay for none of this stuff. So each job they go into, they're going to go into it carefully with that in mind, because they don't want anything taken out of their check. So got one right now that agreed to our policy for claims. He reneged, so I just told the customer to send me an estimate for the repair. Right. And then even with repairs, you want to make sure once you find a good handyman, you want to continue to work with that handyman, because that handyman is going to give you good rates. Patch and paint, little things like that. You can keep a kit on each one of your trucks. Keep a putty knife and some putty. You can have your crew patch the wall up right then and there. And if they got to come back a few days later and sand it and paint it, so be it. Most cases, the customers don't have the paint. So once you just patch it up, then they'll pretty much handle the rest from there. But if you got a handyman to do little handyman jobs, to do patch and paint, or to do little small repairs, banister repairs, molding repairs, things that get damaged or scratched, maybe furniture touch-up, things of that nature, make sure you keep the same guy so they can give you better deals. Also, little things like furniture repairs, make sure you keep a furniture marker, you know, so that you can hit little pieces with the furniture marker if need be. This guy was such a Christian when we hired him. Yeah, everybody gonna put the front on at the beginning, so you already know how that go. All right, so I don't see any more questions. I think I'm gonna go ahead and skedaddle, get ready for tomorrow night, man. We got this broker coming on tomorrow night, so make sure y'all tune in tomorrow night for the Wiseman podcast. We're gonna have this broker come on. We're gonna conceal his identity. He's gonna tell y'all all the things that y'all don't want to hear, or that y'all want to hear, however, whether it's good or bad. He's going to be exposing all the secrets to the broker business and how it affects the carriers, whether good or bad. So we're going to shed light on that tomorrow. So hopefully you guys tune in tomorrow and check that out. Other than that, like I said, Sunday nights is gonna be up in the air from here on out. I want to enjoy my summer. So I'm just gonna do pop-ups. Thursday night, uh I'm still gonna be here, and then I'm working on something new and different that I should be releasing in June. Another podcast where I'm gonna be talking about other things, mentoring in other areas like finance, just business in general, mindset things of that nature. So, all right, appreciate everybody. There's no more questions. Then I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Make sure y'all hit that like button on the way out. Peace out.